What is going on, everyone? Good evening, and welcome to Smark, guys, my weekly pro wrestling commentary show. Although I guess if you just look at last week and this week, you probably could call it Smark Guy, because I've been flying solo after the departure of my former co-host. Now, tonight, I have a major announcement regarding that, because I have had a crazy amount of stuff happen to me in the last week, including, I'm not kidding you, 10 different people all messaged me asking, DSP, can I be the next host with you of Smark Guys? So I'm going to tell you what I came to a determination about tonight, because it is going to be a big one, and I think you guys are going to like this announcement, especially if you like the show and you like variety. I think you're really going to enjoy this, okay? In addition, we've got an update. I have got a second box of WWE Topps cards to unbox live on the show. As you know, we did this last week and it was very successful. For every $100 of support that I raise, I will open a pack of WWE 2025 Topps collectible Chrome cards. We already got a rare hit with the Shinsuke Nakamura card, but could we get any more? What I'm going to do right now, to make it exciting and be fair, all right, I'm going to take the one remaining pack that we had unopened from the first box, okay? And I'm going to move the first box aside, and I'm going to go into the second box of cards. If I can get it open. And I'm going to add that pack in here randomly. Why? Because you're basically guaranteed to get one rare hit in each box. You can get more. You can actually get more than one rare hit. Okay, but we've got the 7 packs here. I'm just going to randomly just add the 8th pack in there. We won't even know which pack is what. I'm just going to shuffle them all up right now. Not even looking, okay? And so, we now have 8 packs of Chrome cards to go through. Again, every $100 of support raised, we will open a pack here live on the stream tonight, moving forward. Now, just to let you guys know, I don't know if we're going to keep doing this indefinitely. And if you want to know why, you might say, why? Work the first box. Why wouldn't you want to do this indefinitely? Let me tell you guys something. These cards are in high demand, in such high demand. I couldn't even buy these where I bought them last time. I had to buy them off of a third-party seller who charged way more than what I had originally paid for them the first time. So it's becoming pricey and hard to reach. Like there was only 2 people I could find on the internet who even had these and would sell them for a reasonable price. Some people are trying to sell this box for over $100. I'm not even kidding you. It's absolutely ridiculous. I got it for way less than that, but still, these are like a collector's item at this point. I don't know why they're so in demand and rare, but there you go. We'll do it tonight. Every $100 raised, a live unpacking of the Topps Chrome cards. Obviously, we'd like to get at least one, if not more, or maybe we can get the new rare, because there is a guaranteed rare card in the box, although there may be more. There could be an autographed card or something in there. We don't know, all right? So, the old cards remain back here, but here we go with the Chrome cards ready to go when we hit the goal. All right, so good stuff there. Now, FYI, your feedback last week was to keep the set going, so I will for now. If you guys ever prefer me doing it this way, because you just want full screen, I can go full screen whenever you want. But last week, everyone was like, nah, we like the ring for the show. It's kind of a different set. It's nostalgia. So I'll keep this rolling for now, unless I get enough feedback of people saying, hey, change it to, the full screen set. Okay. So today is Thursday, the 20th of March, 2025. Last week, we did this show on Thursday as well. The week before, I believe we did it on Thursday, but then we used to do it on Tuesday. So people are now asking me like crazy, when's the show going to be? Is it going to be Thursday? Is it going to be Tuesday? For now, I think I would like to keep the show on Thursday. Okay? Moving forward, we might change it again. It all depends on timing and how things go, but I think having it on a Thursday night works. All right? And so, for the next 3 weeks, all right, this show will be Thursday night, Thursday night, Thursday night. For WrestleMania, I'm not sure what I want to do, because WrestleMania is probably going to do what they usually do, the double weekend, where it's like Saturday, Sunday, 2 days of WrestleMania. So I don't know for WrestleMania if I want to do it earlier just to get a hype show in right after WrestleMania because people might want to hear my commentary like earlier. Um, we'll talk about it when we get to it. But we've got 3 weeks. We got this week and then 3 more weeks until WrestleMania. Okay, because WrestleMania is around the end of April. So what are we going to be doing for the next 3 weeks? Here's the announcement you're all waiting for. Okay, I am going to do 3 weeks of co-hosts here on the show, starting next week, the 27th of March, and then the week after and the week after. 3 straight weeks. Each week, we will have a different co-host here on Smark, guys. Now, originally, my idea was to just kind of randomly do it and have no established order. Then I said, that doesn't make sense because I need to tell these guests ahead of time so they can prepare. That'd be pretty stupid. So I said, all right, but maybe what I'll do is I'll do like a mystery lineup, okay? And we'll see, won't tell you who it's going to be. They'll know who it's going to be, but you won't. But what ended up happening was yesterday I did a show on my other channel, DSP Gaming, and that show went a certain way with a lot of nonsense and drama. And during that show, the crowd was demanding, or not really demanding, requesting that someone be a part of the show. And based on that feedback, I reached out to the person, made them an offer, they accepted. And so FYI, it already kind of leaked because he got excited and posted it up on the internet before I had a chance to even reveal it. So next week, okay, on March 27th, the 11th episode of Smart Guys, my first guest co-host will be Ethan Ralph. Okay? Many of you probably know him. Maybe some of you don't. If you don't, if you do, doesn't really matter. This is not an established, not a test of his history or past. It's a test of how he can do on a pro wrestling commentary show. All right? So he will be here next week. We will see how it goes. Now, for the 2 weeks after that, each week there will be a different co-host. Okay? All of the people who I have as co-hosts all have experience doing internet content, shows, etc. All right? Now, there are various different levels of fame, infamy, whatever you want to say, but I think that all 3 of them might actually be a really good fit for the show. That's why we're doing these test weeks. Okay? So I think it'll be exciting and interesting to test different people for 3 weeks. And then what I want to do is after WrestleMania, there'll be 2 critical things that I want to test. The first thing I want to test is very simple. Should I even continue with the show? Because now that things have changed, will a pro wrestling commentary show still hold value and popularity over the next month to 2 months after WrestleMania is over? Or will all the hype for wrestling die? Will all the interest in the show wane? And maybe we should retire it for now. Maybe bring it back in the future. Maybe do like another hype next year. Hype from, Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, right? We'll see. Okay, we'll see what happens there. So that's number 1. But also, after the WrestleMania show, maybe if I decide to continue the show, then I will decide, hey, out of the 3 people who actually were the guests, right? Who's the best? Who did the best job? And judge based off of, not only how they actually did, your feedback, all of those factors, okay? And that could determine, hey, who's going to be perhaps a more permanent co-host, okay? Or maybe it was so good having the variety of guests, maybe I would want to have a rotating panel of people to be on the show to keep it fresh. I don't know. But this is the first time in my life that really I've had options like this, and people actually want to be a part of my content, which I find bizarre because I've been like the hermit living on an island doing everything for himself for the last 10 plus years. It's weird to me that people are like, oh, I want to be part of your content. Can I be a co-host? Like, wait, what? You want to be on my show? Me? I'm no one. I'm not some big shot. I don't get a lot of views, but people are interested. So, hey, listen, I'm not complaining. Any options are good options. Let's see how it goes the next few weeks, okay? So, I can already tell you on both chats, there's different people talking about this kind of stuff, about various things about Ethan Ralph and the possibility of co-hosts and the like. So I'm glad you guys are excited and it's getting you guys buzzing about it, right? It's any kind of hype, any kind of interest. It's good. I'm sure next week having a first co-host with Ethan Ralph is going to be exciting. People are going to be joining just to see how it goes. And, we'll play it by ear. All right? I hope that sounds fair to everyone. I hope that's a amicable arrangement. All right? Now, As you know, I've changed the format of the show. Okay, what do you mean? It's basically me. I'm going to be talking a lot about wrestling commentary. I am going to do shout outs here and interact with you guys in a second because I have some contributions already to shout out, and it is a very interactive show. If you contribute during the show, I will shout out your contribution, directly respond. This is something that I wasn't doing in the previous format when it was me and the former co host, and we were just talking constantly, and there really wasn't really time to get in a word edgewise. Now, the show format has changed, where now it's going to be very interactive. It worked last week. Last week, the show went well. Everyone seemed to like the format. We hit multiple goals. It was amazing. Now, the question is, am I now going to see diminishing returns? Was last week the one good week, and now every week moving forward, it's going to go less and less and less? I don't know. To be frank with all of you, if this show loses engagement, attendance, and support, and by WrestleMania, the show is like dead, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'd much rather spend my time on projects that people are interested in, okay? I did tell you guys I would be interested in doing this through WrestleMania. So let's see how it goes through WrestleMania and go from there, okay? Fair enough. So I promise you there will be shows through WrestleMania, 3 shows, guest hosts, all right? And then after that, we completely reassess. But if you like the wrestling commentary, if you like the idea of me of having guest hosts, maybe rotating hosts or another permanent host, support the show. Just show up, engage, support. And by the way, when I say that, support the show after the fact, with this show being an archive on the DSPReacts channel, because I leave these streams archived so you can watch them after the fact. Okay? And so I hope that you will consider, maybe watching, liking, maybe leaving a super thanks on the video after the fact as well. All that stuff helps. Okay? And also, one other thing to consider. Between now and WrestleMania, I'm pretty much just going to focus on WWE. But there's a lot of stuff going on right now over in AEW. A lot of bad stuff. Like last night, they had a match where it was Jon Moxley versus Cope, Adam Copeland. And Moxley took this insane bump onto an actual spike bat. And the actual spikes went into his back and destroyed his flesh. And they, on camera live on Dynamite, they were pulling it out and it was bleeding. It was disgusting. And everyone's saying these guys are spiraling and they're going too far and their promotion's falling apart. So it definitely could be an opportunity that after WrestleMania, instead of being so focused on covering WWE, that we change our focus over to other promotions such as AEW. I have access now with my VPN. I can watch NXT. If you guys want me to maybe dabble in TNA, I would be open to doing that stuff per how things go. But again, it depends on how things go. If you guys are going to be showing up, engaging, and supporting with these streams, I'm very much in line with saying, hey, let's go ahead and let's keep doing the show. Now, when I say support, I want to be very transparent here. It's not like the old show where my old co-host is sitting here saying we should be hitting $500, $600, $700. I don't expect that. I don't. It would be nice to make that much every week. Don't get me wrong. If you did support the show like that, I would be ecstatic. But I'm not expecting that. I would say a reasonable amount is my goal that I usually have for any other stream that I do, which is the $150 of support across all platforms, whether that's super chats, memberships or gifted memberships on the YouTube side, whether that's subs or gifted subs on the Kick side, or whether that's tips. All right? They all count. They all add up. $150 of support per show. If we hit it, I'll keep doing it. Okay? Does that sound fair? I hope that sounds fair. So if you like it, you want to see it going, you want to see me unpack a pack of cards at $100 tonight, let's get that going. You want to see the show continue? Let's get that going. Let's do it. All right. So now let's get to it. Let's start with shout outs. We'll go through these. We'll answer your questions. We'll see what you guys are doing. And then we will go ahead and and then we will continue with the show and do the commentary, okay? By the way, Jay Will says, why are Dark Side dabbing and Cheese something in the Kino Casino chat talking crap about you? I don't know. Why don't they answer that in the Kick chat right now publicly? Because if they are doing that and they think that they're going to be like a snake jumping between streams, I think that they should just step out right now and not return. But I don't know, because I don't know if they're doing that or not. I'm not watching that stuff. I'm doing my own content, okay? But just so everyone knows, this is an important thing to bring up. There are snakes all over the internet. And especially when it comes to my content, there are people who literally stalk people, no lie, from stream to stream to stream to stream. Like, this happens literally every day. And this used to happen with my detractors, not the casino, but my other detractors. Basically, people would tell me behind the scenes, did you know that so-and-so is in the detractor chat and they're talking crap and they're contributing? And the truth is, I can't stop anyone from doing that, nor is it my job to babysit or monitor any of that crap, okay? It's not my job. It's not. But if you're in my chat, you got to behave and abide by the rules. If you're going to be a moderator of mine like Dark Side Dabbing is, you've got to abide by the regulations of being a mod. If I find out that you're doing underhanded stuff, I'm going to publicly shit can and shame you just like you deserve. All right, so I'm laying down the rules right now. Hope everyone understands. That's how it is with me. Everyone gets a fair shake. These people haven't shown me any reason to be upset. And, I haven't seen that. But if they really are snakes and they're trying to plan on doing something, well, they better stop right now because they're just going to be publicly exposed, when they start acting up. Fair enough? There you go. Okay? Okay. All right. Moving on. Again, that's drama nonsense. I don't even care. Let's get to shout-outs. Okay. So we start with a $5 tip tonight from Slayer. Thank you, Slayer, for the first contribution of the night. Let me get my my dashboard open to pop-ups. My bad, because I had to restart my PC. I had major tech issues earlier this morning that destroyed my podcast. It ended up being like over half an hour late because all kinds of stuff had gone wrong. But I think we got everything working here tonight for the show. So Slayer, the first tipper of the night, $5. Let's see what Slayer has to say. I can't wait for the show tonight, the big announcement. There's the announcement. 3 guest hosts lined up for the next 3 weeks, one of which is Ethan Ralph next week. And then we'll have 2 other guest hosts moving forward. And we're going to give them basically a tryout and see how it goes. That's the announcement. I did enjoy SmackDown and Raw this week. I like crowd reactions. The matches were fine, good promos. John Cena's heel promo was good, and I do think it would have been nice to have a reference to Thugonomics Cena. But by itself, this is good, and his acting as heel is good. As for the Paul Heyman promo, I have a theory. You realize he keeps downplaying Rollins, that he will never be good. What if it is him downplaying Rollins, and he turns on Reigns and sides with Rollins during WrestleMania, and no one sees that coming because he criticizes Rollins severely? By the way, NXT was great again, and I can't wait for the next show. Yeah, I haven't seen NXT at all. That is the one promotion of WWE that I know is a major show every week, and I didn't see it once yet. I would like to see it at some point when it makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense now that we have to be focusing on all these heavy WWE storylines leading into WrestleMania. If I already got to watch 2 shows a week, I don't want to have to watch a third and a fourth. Like I said, moving forward past WrestleMania, if this show does well, if we're hitting the goals, if people are showing up, if people like it, I would consider watching other promotions, doing other things. Okay, let's see how it goes into WrestleMania. King Michael, good evening. How are you? Good to see you. Well, I don't have CW, Winter Soldier. I don't have any TV. Winter Soldier says NXT is free. I don't have any TV. Why would I? I just have some on-demand services. But I do have VPN. So if it's on demand somewhere, I can use my VPN to change to whatever, I think people were saying it's on Netflix if you use a VPN or something like that, right? Okay. All right, so Super Chats on YouTube. Let's get started. Tonight we got Mr. Watson with a $5 Super Chat. How much to make Ralph permanent second chair? Well, I think I've explained my methodology here of how we're going to do it. We're going to have several trial weeks of different people, give everyone a try, a fair shake, see how everybody does, right? I'm curious, different levels of knowledge, different levels of exposure to pro wrestling, how that will affect people's ability to commentate with me on the show, and go from there. So there you go. No amount of money to buy someone's chair. That's not going to happen, okay? Then Mr. Watson did a $2 Super Chat. Ethan Ralph is a great person and a great father. Wow, someone is a huge fan of Ethan Ralph tonight. I don't know who this is. They tipped another $2 Super Chat. I tell my son Ethan Ralph is a guy you can trust. I get the feeling there's some kind of a running meme here. And we're going to see more of these in the weeks ahead, okay? Then we've got Bob Smith, who did a Mexican 100 peso Super Chat, which I have absolutely no idea what that value's at. So give me a second. I actually have to pull out a currency converter here. I don't know what the peso is valued at currently. Let's see. All right. So that is the equivalent of $24.81. That is a nice, big, juicy super chat. So let's get that on the leaderboard. And he says, looking forward to it. This is Ralph. Sorry if I stepped on the announcement. Now, I don't know if that's really Ralph or not. I have no idea. I did not speak with him previous. So I don't actually know if that's him or if that's someone trying to impersonate him, which could happen. I got to be careful about what I trust and don't trust, because the last thing I want is someone to come on here and try to impersonate someone and get them in trouble, right? Like, that'd be kind of messed up to come on here. They start contributing and then they start saying nasty stuff. It's like, wow. And that's happened. That's totally happened in my content before. So that's why I got to be skeptical. But if that is you, Ethan, thank you. You didn't have to do that. That's not going to get you a permanent spot, just so you know. But I appreciate the contribution tonight. Okay. How are you saying it's $4? Wait a minute. It's $4.96. I just did Mexican peso to United States dollar, and it was a 500. Oh, it's a 100. I read it wrong. It's $4.96. Okay, thank you. I did do it wrong. I thought it was 500. I misread the super chat. That's my fault. All right, so actually Mr. Watson is still the top super chatter. And so we have to undo this now, because I said, what, 24? What were we at? Shit. No. Yeah, I said it was 24, right? No, I said it was 28. No, I said it was 24. So we got to subtract. So it would be 22, 18. And then we add the 5. So it'll be 23. We're now at 23. Okay. I got screwed up there. So sorry about that. All right. So we're at 23 in support. Thank you to Mr. Watson. 10, 14. Actually, it should be 19. We should be at 19 right now. I'm redoing the math again fast. Wait. There's 5. All right, let's do it on the fly. 5 from Slayer, 5 from Watson is 10, 2 from Watson is 12, 2 from Watson is 14. Then you add the 5 from Ralph, that's 19. We're at 19. I don't know how I screwed that up so bad. All right. I totally thought that it was 500 pesos. I misread it. All right, so whoever that is, if it's him or not, thanks and welcome. And then we have Archmage with a $5 super chat, who says, everyone wants to see you and Ralph do a wrestling show. Only the Kino Casino ball suckers are ones trying to stop it from happening. I don't think anyone's trying to stop it from happening. I don't think I've even seen a single person be like, there's been, I'll be honest, there have been a couple people in comments, basically, like video comments. And they're like, no one likes Ethan Ralph because he did this and he did this and he did this. And I'm like, okay, great. What does that have to do with the show? What does that have to do with a wrestling commentary show, right? Like, this isn't a news show. This isn't a drama show. This is going to be a show where it's just going to be commentating on pro wrestling. So if someone can commentate on pro wrestling and they're entertaining and they add something to the show and people want to see it, then I don't think there's a problem. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, that's literally what we're going to see happens next week. Okay, let's find out how it goes. Fair enough? All right. Okay, and I received a $3 tip. Listen to this. Ethan is great. I remember when my car broke down on the side of the highway. Ethan drove me all the way in a supersonic speed, and then he fixed my car, and then he had me back on the road in no time, and he never asked me for anything in return. Wow. Wow. Well, he certainly sounds like an upstanding citizen, doesn't he? Citizen of where, I don't know, because everyone tells me that he lives in Mexico, so I don't know. I really don't care. Again, I don't give a shit. Here's what I care about. Does his internet work? Does his camera work? Does his mic work? Can he speak? And can he add to the show? That's what I care about. All right? So there you go. All right. So, folks, that's the initial contributions that we've gotten. Now, as you can see, all right, right now, I'm just curious because I haven't looked yet. I just want to see how we're doing, viewers-wise and everything, because I haven't even given anything a look. Let's see. Between the two services. All right, we got like 87 over on Kick, and we got like 200 roughly on YouTube. Obviously, that's okay if we can get support, but I would obviously like more. Perhaps on a week when I have these guest hosts, it would bring more interest to the show. I don't know. I think this week is an interesting week to commentate on wrestling because of Cena's promo. Like, Cena's promo particularly, really, a lot of people liked the fact that Cena has gone heel and he is actually cutting heel promos. It's not like some bullshit where they half-assed it, but he is going on full heel, and people are really enjoying that, including me. So I thought, let's see how it goes tonight. Let's see how many people show up for that. I guess we'll find out. All right, I'm going to start commentating in a moment. But what I would like to do, guys, let's get some momentum going. First of all, we haven't seen a single person sub yet on Kick. Let's get our first sub of the night from over on Kick, whether it's a gift or just a quick one that someone, hasn't done. Let's get our first sub of the night from Kick. We got some super chats already. We got a tip. Now let's see Kick buy-in. All right? Or we haven't seen any members yet on YouTube. Let's get a member or two on YouTube. Let's get a little bit all from every little source, and then we'll begin. And by the way, I absolutely, after having bought another pack of cards, want to at least unpack one pack of cards tonight. So we can get to the 100. That would be perfect. Obviously, the goal is 150. I want to get to the 150. And if you're not aware, and here's another piece of incentive, take a look. We're at goals 69 of 70. We're literally at 69 of 70. We're one goal away from the reward of DSP Tries It, where I'm actually going to try British food for the first time ever. I've never had any British food at all in my life. And I've heard so many things about sausage rolls, meat pies, bangers and mash, all these different sides. I want to try it. We're right there. If we hit the goal tonight at 150, I'm doing DSP Tries It tomorrow afternoon, right after my late stream. It'll be my dinner. All right? So let's go. Let's get motivated. Get some support on the show. Hit the goal. Unpack the cards. Having fun with pro wrestling. And if any contributions come in while I'm doing commentary, I'm going to shout them out right away. Fair enough? So this week, I'm excited to do the commentary because this week, WWE went to Europe. They're doing this big European tour before WrestleMania. So what an awesome time to be tuning into WWE, because for those who don't know, the European shows end up being some of the most exciting shows. The crowds are hot because WWE isn't always in Europe. So because of that, they're excited that they're there. It's not these dead crowds that go to sleep and just ignore matches. They're usually pretty hype. And the funny part is, if they are dead, it's actually really a bad sign that the show does actually suck. Okay? But man, these crowds are absolutely hot for anything that's going on these shows. Okay. So let's start tonight with SmackDown from Friday, March 14th. All right. This was being broadcast from Barcelona, Spain. And they had actually brought up that this is the first SmackDown ever to be held in Barcelona, Spain. So first time ever the show's been there. And so the crowd is going to be extra hype and excited because of this. Okay. So immediately, literally when they start, the crowd's going, ole, 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 ole. They're very hyped. They're very excited. Now, that's a reference to like football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. But it was pretty awesome to see the crowd is that ramped up at the beginning. The weird part about this, both on SmackDown and Raw, at least I was listening, they did not announce attendance numbers. And I don't know if that's because perhaps the arenas in Europe that they're using for the shows actually are significantly smaller than the ones in the United States. And they don't want people to think, oh, look, our shows are shrinking. Because remember, every week in the US, it was like 15,000, 17,000, 18,000, 19,000. And maybe they don't want people, well, this is only, 12,000. They don't want people to think, oh, we lost attendance or anything. Because that's not the case. It's just the arena. The arena is smaller, I think. Okay. So, what's going to be on the show tonight? Well, Cody Rhodes is going to be a guest on Miz TV, and everyone's excited to hear his thoughts after what had happened in the Elimination Chamber when John Cena won and then attacked him and turned heel. So we're going to have a Miz TV interview where he's going to ask all the hard-hitting questions. Also tonight, we've got Gunther there to talk about his upcoming match with Jey Uso at WrestleMania. Melo will be in a match. I believe it's Carmelo Hayes versus Randy Orton in a singles match tonight. Orton walking in with his wife. And again, they're doing these walk-in segments now. Every single show they're doing them. I guess it's like a mandate. If you're on a WWE show, you have to film your walk into the arena. But let's be honest, these probably are not legit walk-ins. This is probably staged. This is not them actually, oh, you caught me walking in. This is, all right, let's film my walk-in now. Let's get ready. You get your makeup on, you get an outfit, whatever it is, right? The Street Profits will have a match versus DIY tonight for the WWE Tag Championships, okay? So, we're going to see what happens with that. Will they retain or not? DIY is the champions, by the way. And then, Paul Heyman is in the house to drop a promo. And that's pretty exciting because Paul Heyman, especially in WrestleMania season, is usually white, hot, popular. He's got the stuff going. Whatever he says, people are going to be very excited. Okay? So, they open up the show with LA Knight coming out. The crowd is absolutely wild. They are so loud for LA Knight coming out. And this is actually only like the second or third time that I had heard LA Knight's theme. Because remember, I hadn't been watching SmackDown regularly. I just started. And I actually like his theme. It's got like LA Knight. And it's like that electronic voice or whatever. It kind of fits a cool like 80s vibe. He's got the text that kind of looks like Knight Rider or like Blood Dragon. Something like that. Okay. So yeah, a pretty good entrance. I like LA Knight, basically. At least for his entrance, okay? So he comes out, let me talk to you, which I guess is his catchphrase or whatever. And the crowd goes nuts again. But I'm just going to say this, all right? Once again, 100%, this man is channeling young Rock, okay? His charisma, his mannerisms, the way he talks and works the crowd, he is 100% like Attitude Era Rock. Now, is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Have we had a character like Rock in a long time? It's been a while, I think, right? To have that kind of total charisma character. Not to say that he can't wrestle, but it is this like big charisma attitude that he brings to his promos. And for me, it's entertaining, but at the same time, man, it does feel a little cringe. But I think the reason it's cringe for me is because I was there for Attitude Era Rock. I watched it. I saw after Attitude Era when he evolved again to Hollywood Rock and all that. So I've seen this, right? And it works for a new crowd of people where this is the first time you're encountering this kind of character. You probably love it. But I feel like, yeah, I have seen it before. I would hope that over time, he actually can like change and emulate, or not emulate, evolve is what I meant to say. He can change and evolve to maybe have some things that actually there is a little bit of difference, right? But when you're acting like The Rock and you got catchphrases like awesome, like, let me talk to you, yeah, it sounds like, what? You know what I mean? Like the old Austin catchphrases. So he is definitely a throwback to a different era, but at the same time, I think he's not a one-trick pony where that's all he's got. He can wrestle. He does have charisma. He does deserve success. It's not like this is a guy they're pushing and he's just, I'm good on the mic, but I'm a jobber or whatever, right? He's pretty good. Thank you to B. Chesnika for a $2 super chat. However, what you're asking about is drama from yesterday that's completely off topic to this show, and I'm not derailing my wrestling commentary show for that discussion. If you want to know, just go watch for yourself. All right, thanks for the $2. So, guys, we're at 29. Come on, let's get some momentum going. Let's get it going towards the 100 mark so we can do that unpacking. All right, again, if you want to see wrestling continue, I want to make sure that there is interest and support in it. So let's hit it, okay? Okay, so LA Knight starts his promo saying, by God, he's going worldwide. And then there's everyone's you deserve it chance, crazy you deserve it chance for him having won the United States title last week from Shinsuke Nakamura. So I think what he's saying is even though I'm the U.S. champion, the U.S. title is I'm worldwide. I'm not just in the U.S. And then all of a sudden, which is weird because it was kind of early in the promo, like he didn't even get that far yet. All of a sudden, of all people, Jimmy Uso interrupts and comes out. Now, let me clarify. Jimmy Uso, not Jey Uso. You know, the number one contender for the WWE or the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw, but his brother Jimmy. Jimmy's been involved in several different plot lines since I started watching. The last, didn't he lose to Drew McIntyre or something like that a week or two ago? So he's not doing so well. All right. He's really not getting, they're calling him Big Jim. Like he's bigger than his brother when in reality they're twins. He's not really bigger than Jey. So I don't know why they say that. And honestly, it doesn't really seem like he has anything to do. They keep putting him into these feuds that aren't going anywhere and then he loses. So I don't know what the character is or where he's going. But anyway, he comes out and he's like, well, I'm desperate. I literally don't have a road to WrestleMania. I don't have anything to do. And so I'm going to challenge you for the U.S. title because that's my road to WrestleMania. All right. All of a sudden, Solo Sikoa and the entire new bloodline spill out from the back. They all come out of nowhere like a shock. Oh my God, what are they doing here now? So like, I guess LA Knight's not doing a promo because now there's so many people hitting the ring at this point. There's no way he's finishing this thing. And he says, Jimmy Uso is going to be the number one contender for the U.S. title. It almost seems like Solo Sikoa is going to be the one to challenge LA Knight. And I'm thinking in my head, wasn't this guy just a world champion contender? And then on top of that, he had the giant feud with Roman Reigns. It doesn't seem like him being in the mid-card picture makes a lot of sense right now, right? Like, it'd be like, that's kind of bizarre, is it not? But then he switches it and turns it on his head out of nowhere, which I didn't foresee coming. And he says, no, actually, it's Jacob Fatu who deserves that title shot. He's the one who should be in the running for the U.S. title. Okay? And then all of a sudden, it looks like it's going to be Jimmy and LA Knight teaming up to take on the new bloodline, like 3-on-2. All of a sudden, like hell on wheels, Braun Strowman comes running down the ramp at maximum speed, the Strowman Express. And so the three faces take on the three heels. And of course, as pretty typical, as this goes right now, they do their spots and the faces clean the ring out. And so all of a sudden, it's announced on the fly. Nick Aldis comes out, which again, he used to be Magnus over in TNA. That's how I know him, but I guess I got to get used to calling him Nick Aldis. That's his name now. He's the GM of SmackDown. He says, that's it. On the fly, we're going to do a 6-man tag match. And man, it reminded me of the old days when you had like Teddy Long in charge of SmackDown, and they would constantly have these brawls in the ring, and he would always come out and be like, that's it, player. Now we're going to do 3-on-3. I like that. Like, you could do those impromptu matches. I think that's really neat. And so he calls it out and says, it's going to be a 3-on-3 match right now. New Bloodline versus Braun, LA Knight, and Jimmy Uso. So the match begins, and everyone's hitting their spots. And of course, because again, they're in Barcelona, Spain, the crowd is hot. The crowd is like really excited. They're pumped right now to see these guys be in their backyard because it's such a rarity that they actually would be. And you got a little bit of back and forth. The bloodline, of course, is doing exactly what you would expect. They're constantly kind of cheat and distract and do the underhanded heel things in order to get the one up on the faces. Strowman at one point hits a triple Strowman Express where the whole bloodline's on the outside, and he just runs around the ring and hits all three of them in a big row. Boom, boom, boom. And it's done really well. It's done convincingly rather than cartoonishly, and it makes him look really strong right now. And then, man, this one thing. It was Jimmy Uso. Again, he's the one in this match who needs the push, right? He goes to do this running, flying, I don't know if you would call it a plancha or you would call it just like a giant like flying move over through the ropes into Jacob Fatu, and he misses completely. He just comes up short, and it looks bad, but Jacob tries to save it by acting like he touched him, even though it was pretty apparent he didn't. And he goes back, and he still goes over the table anyway, which is pretty funny. It was a pretty funny spot to see. Braun Strowman power slams Tama Tonga and ends up winning the match. So it was a good match, all right? Overall, there was some chaos, people hitting their spots, everyone looking good. The one major botch was the Jimmy botch. Great. The guy that needs the push is the one that messes it up, right? But then, of course, after the match, it's time to be dirty and sneaky. And so Solo sneak attacks Braun after the match. So now we've got a stare down of Jacob versus Braun, and then they start attacking. And then Jacob basically gets the better of Braun, brings him into the ring, starts destroying Braun Strowman, and he does his giant moonsault. And I don't know if it actually has a name. Does it have it's like a signature move or whatever? It has a name. I think it's actually his finisher, right? So I don't know if Jacob Fatu's moonsault has a notable name. But then he does it again, and he does it again. He's nailing this over and over. And I'm remembering, oh yeah, if you remember, right before the Royal Rumble, these two had a match. And Jacob Fatu did a very similar thing where he kept beating the crap out of him until he was bloody, right? So it seems like they're rewinding 2 months and going back to that same thing that happened right before the Royal Rumble. So then he pulls him out of the ring, and then he puts Braun through the wall, the ringside wall. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. We haven't actually seen spots with the ringside wall very often. They used to do this all the time. Like in the 2000s, everyone would go through the ringside wall. I mean, every other match with like Umaga or someone big would be going through the ringside wall. So it was cool to see that. I liked the match. I thought it was well done. Now, where is it going? I mean, it looked at first like it was going to be Jimmy versus LA Knight for the IC or for the US title. But then Jacob Fatu got thrown in. So do you think that they'll do a triple threat? That's kind of what I'm thinking is that they're alluding to is that there'll be a triple threat between the two at WrestleMania for the US title. But at this point, nothing is actually announced, so you don't know where it's going. It was just like a chaotic match with a weird ending. But then the question is, where's Braun in all this? If it really is going to be Jacob, Jimmy, and LA Knight, how will Braun be involved? Maybe Braun will be thrown in there too as a fourth? I don't think they're going to do a tag match. I don't think that would be. I think that it's going to be something for the U.S. title, so I'm not sure. Okay, moving on. Jade is backstage being interviewed by Kathy. Jade Cargill, that is. And Jade says, well, physically, I'm okay. I'm back. I've recovered. Everything is fine. All right. But now my mind is like going crazy because Naomi is just pathetic. I didn't take any handouts to get where I am. I don't need handouts to get where I'm going, which is what she said last week. The reason why she attacked me is because I was taking handouts and riding on Bianca Belair's coattails. But man, I will just say this, okay? It's awful acting. I'm sorry. Like, the acting that happens here, okay, is just not good. I understand that they want to do all these drama segments. Sometimes I feel like the drama segments are too much with the women. They have to talk a lot. I don't know why. If these two really hate each other, if Naomi hates Jade and Jade hates Naomi, here's what I think they should do. Enough with the, you did this, you did that. Just have them beat the shit out of each other every week. 1 week, Jade is just walking backstage, and Naomi comes off camera and just slams the hell out of her with a steel chair. And then the next week, Naomi, I don't know, she's taking a piss, and all of a sudden, Jade takes the door off the stall and just bonks her on the head with it, right? Like, just have brutality between two women, and then maybe I would care about the feud. But it's kind of like, we're going to have an interview. Ew, I don't like her because she said this about me and this about... Well, I don't care. If you're really angry at each other because one of you attacked the other, whatever, just beat the shit out of each other. Can we do that? I guess not. And so we got to blah, 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 blah. I don't care about the blah, blah. I want to see... Back in the day, if a guy had sneak attacked someone else, they go at it. Do you think that when it was revealed that Rikishi was the one who had attacked Austin with the car back in the late 90s or early 2000s and it put Austin out for months, do you think Austin sat there and interviews, that was really mean. I don't know why Rikishi doesn't like me. I think that I haven't done what they're saying. That No, he went out there, he beat the shit out of Rikishi week after week until finally they faced off in a match. That's what you do. I don't understand this promo bullshit, okay? Anyway, as all this is happening, Liv and Raquel are walking by, and then they start talking shit because they're like, this is bullshit that we were ever accused of doing this attack. And Jade doesn't take that very well because she's like, she didn't accuse them. So why are they like bothering her, right? So basically next week, it's going to be Jade Cargill versus Liv Morgan in a singles match on SmackDown. I don't understand why. It just kind of was put together. I think they're really just looking for matches at this point. But yeah, so that's going to be a singles match for next week. Okay? So honestly, the entire thing was a setup for a singles match, and it's kind of lame. Okay? All right. Next, we've got B-Fab talking shit to Charlotte Flair in Spanish. And I'm just thinking to myself in my head, like, here's what I'm thinking, right? Like, I don't know B-Fab. I don't know who B-Fab is. I don't know where she's from. I guess she is a singles wrestler on SmackDown now that is getting, like, she's a face and she gets a push. She talks a lot of shit or whatever. But I'm just thinking in the back of my head, man, if Charlotte and her face off one-on-one, Charlotte is just going to just fucking destroy her. Charlotte she's a great wrestler. She's been the champion a zillion times. Who the hell is B-Fab and who's going to care? This is going to be like the biggest slapping around squashing match ever, right? Or else that's what you would think it would be. Okay? Okay, anyway. So, B-Fab comes out, because they're going to have a match this week. She comes out, and I'm listening to the music. And I'm like, this sounds almost exactly the same as Bianca Belair's music. And I realized, I think what it is when they're doing this kind of music, they have the same exact girl or woman singing it. So even though it's not the same song, dude, it sounded almost exactly the same as Bianca Belair's theme as she came out. And I was like, that sucks because now there's no identity for this woman. Everyone's going to just associate her as like the weaker Bianca, right? So Charlotte comes out, not with a shitty Bianca-sounding song, but of course, her fully remixed Charlotte Flair, Queen of Wrestling, song. They give her the full pyro because they're in Europe, so they're going to go all out. She's in her full regalia robe and everything. I'm like, dude, she's going to fuck her up. She's going to destroy B-Fab. This is going to be like the biggest spanking you've ever seen in wrestling history. She's going to just pull like a clinic out there, right? Slap her around. At least that's what I'm led to think, okay? And so, the match starts. B-Fab is basically angry. I think that's her thing here. She's supposed to not necessarily be the most technical of wrestlers, but she's got that rage. Maybe she's got that ruthless aggression in her, and maybe that's what they're going for. I'm not sure. But Charlotte is by far the most technical of the two, pulling off holds and moves and reversals, while B-Fab is just kind of attacking and swinging with strikes and doing a few moves here and there, but nothing too special. She does put up a fight. I will say that. Like, basically, this looks like what they would call a booster match. And what I mean by that is, even though B-Fab is not going to win, she's not going to beat Charlotte here, right? What would be the plot there? Charlotte's the number one contender. There's no way that Charlotte's going to lose to B-Fab at this point on the road to WrestleMania. But this is meant to be a match where she looks good so that basically she can maybe do something after. Even though she can't win this, she'll at least hold her own. Because if that weren't the case, they could have easily just made this a spanking. And they didn't. And I was shocked at that. I legit thought, here comes a spanking, and it didn't happen. B-Fab did get to hold her own and showcase her skills a little bit. Okay? So, the end of the match, not surprising. Charlotte puts B-Fab into the figure eight, and B-Fab taps out. But Charlotte, being the heel, refuses to release the figure eight and just does more damage and more damage to B-Fab's legs until finally Tiffany comes out to try to save B-Fab, and a brawl breaks out between the two, and that's where they end. So, what a shocker that Charlotte actually beat B-Fab, and the rivalry between Tiffany and Charlotte doesn't really advance at all. It just stays exactly where it was, but you got to see them all on the road to WrestleMania. Okay. I received a contribution. I received a $3 tip from your fave Anon. The way you're describing things makes me feel like I'm actually there. Well, I'm glad to hear that. If you like the way that I do the show and you like the way that I do commentary and you think I'm descriptive, I appreciate that. I accept the compliment. And thanks for watching and supporting the show. Speaking of that, if you guys are liking the show, please support it. We are now at $32 of support. But again, $100 to open a pack of the trading cards, which I would love to do tonight. And of course, I want to hit the goal. That will lock us in, and we'll do DSP Tries It tomorrow. So guys, please support Smart Guys if you want to see it continue and be successful. All right? Cool. Thank you. Let's get some. Again, we haven't seen a single sub from over on Kit. And there's like 80 plus people, right? There's 80 plus people. Let's get a sub. Let's get a single sub on Kick right now. I unbanned a ton of people in the last day. A ton. Let's get a sub right now. Or else I'm going to have BFAB come to your house. And she's upset because she just lost to Charlotte Flair. She's going to be pissed. She's going to smash your door in. And she's going to go right into your kitchen. And she's going to open up your refrigerator and eat all your food. And she's just going to throw the waste onto the floor. She's not even going to throw it in the trash can. And then she's going to go into your bathroom and she's going to blow it up because she just ate all your food. All right? And you don't want that to happen. Okay? All right. Oh, you want that to happen, Super Bonchan? All right. Unless you contribute, I'm not going to send BFAB to your house. I'm going to deny you that BFAB would visit you, ever. She'll be denied, banned for wherever you live. She can't even be on that same street. We'll have a restraining order. How about that? So there'll be no possibility of that ever happening. Let's get one sub. Come on. There's a bunch of people over there who contribute all the time. I'm staring at 2 of them right now. No subs. That's absolutely ridiculous. Let's get some support tonight. All right? Good evening, Team Terrahawk. How are you? Good to see you. All right. By the way, I want to say thanks to Mike Kelly. It was a 4-month re-upping of their membership here tonight, but that already previously happened. It's not a new one for tonight, so it doesn't count towards the show. But I appreciate you being an ongoing supporter of the React content. Thank you to Mike Kelly. Very nice of you. Okay. Cena, no, we're not doing bounties for card pack opening. How would that make sense? No one's going to do a bounty for a card pack opening. The only thing I can think of is, like, if someone were to give a significant contribution, like let's say someone dropped $50, they could pull a number between 1 and 8, and that would be the pack that we open because we have 8 packs, right? So I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I pick the number you want, and that'll be the one. And we'll see, did you hit the card? Did you hit the rare card in your pack, right? We can do something like that, but that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know what other things we could possibly do here, okay? I just realized that the entire time I didn't have that on camera, which I intended. Oops. Okay. All right, and how about this? I'll do this one too. Since I want support for Smark Guys, I like the show, and I've committed I want to do it through WrestleMania. While we're doing Smark Guys, I'll make the offer that if anyone drops 20 subs on Kick, you'll get both the VIP and the OG badges together, or you could gift them out to someone else, another fellow viewer, all right? So that offer will be in effect as we do Smark Guys, so that way we could possibly get some support for the show, okay? Sound good? All right. Let's go. Let's continue. All right. So the next segment on SmackDown. Oh, hold on. I just received a 7,000. No, I'm just kidding. I got a $3 tip from I Took a Shit Today. I disagree with you with Charlotte Flair. I don't think she's a great wrestler. I can't stand her. I mean, listen. You might argue she's not a great wrestler, but when you look at the rest of the roster that they push, I mean, she's good. In comparison, you might say, well, in comparison to the whole company, okay, maybe she's not the best wrestler, but she's very technical. She holds her own. She's decent in a promo. She kind of is the one person that they've ever, like, positioned to be seen as a good female wrestler, right? I mean, from what I'm seeing, why do you think she won the Rumble? If there was so many awesome, believable contenders, why would she have come back out of nowhere and won the Royal Rumble? She's their go-to, much like how Cena used to be the go-to guy. Even though everyone was tired of Cena, he would always be the guy who would win and get every opportunity. It's like, why is this happening to Cena? I don't get it, right? Okay. Now, as I was saying, thank you for the $3 tip there. I'm glad that you took a shit today, by the way. All right. So, Drew McIntyre, once again, seemingly still getting attention, still getting pushed by WWE, despite the fact this guy hasn't won anything significant in, like, the entire time I've watched WWE since January. He has a big segment about him. So he's recapping his own downfall, right? First, he won Seth Rollins, or excuse me, he beat Seth Rollins in a big title match at WrestleMania 40. And he started a big title run. But then all of a sudden, no. He's attacked by CM Punk after the match. And then Damian Priest, who had the Money in the Bank briefcase, cashed it in and ended up stealing that title from it. So he had his chance to be back on top. Or after his original title reign, if you remember, way back during the COVID era, he could have been champion again, but it was stolen from him. Then, at Clash at the Castle, he got completely screwed over, right? Then, he won at Money in the Bank, and he went to do his cash-in, but then, basically, it was ruined because CM Punk interfered again, and he ended up losing to Damian Priest his cash-in, so it got screwed over again. So basically what he's doing, he's outlining how over this time period when he could have been winning and whatever, it was Damian Priest was kind of the thorn in his side. Whether it was him cashing in Money in the Bank, whether it was later he winning because Punk interfered, it's Damian Priest has been a problem. So he says, that's why, I basically attacked the crap out of Damian Priest during the Elimination Chamber, after the fact. And, I'm not, obviously this was his intention. And he's had enough with Priest, and he's going to put him down for good. There you go. So, they're going to do Miz TV. All right, Miz is in the ring. He's going to start his show. But all of a sudden, they cut to the ramp, the entrance ramp, and we've got Tiffy, or Tiffany Stratton, I guess is her full name, but I guess they all call her Tiffy. We got Tiffy and Charlotte still engaged in a big brawl. They're fighting each other on the ramp. It's like, dude, they continued their fight after the match. Like, they didn't really show that. They had cut to like a break or a commercial. When they came back, they didn't, So they're still fighting, apparently. Okay. Really believable. I'm sure that they didn't just, stage that or anything. It was kind of a silly thing. So then finally, Miz TV's going to start. Cody Rhodes comes out, and the entire crowd of Barcelona is singing word for word Cody Rhodes' song. Now, I'm going to be honest, all right? After having now heard Cody Rhodes' song this many weeks now, because now he's starting to be a regular on the shows and everything leading up to WrestleMania, I think the music, the actual instrumental of Cody Rhodes' song is quite good. I actually like it. It's rock music and it's good. It's invigorating. I hate the guy who sings. His voice is so whiny. He's like, here we go into my soul. I hate it. It's like an angsty teen who's upset about his teacher gave him too much homework. So he's running to do a blog post or a TikTok video about it. That's what it sounds like. It's frustrating. I just want him to have, if he's supposed to be the face of WB, the face of WWE, the unstoppable champion, the guy who everyone's supposed to be getting behind, give him a goddamn good theme. It sounds awful. Me. Oh, they got my name wrong. I'm a Carmel Macchiato. Oh, I hate it. Really. The lyrics are kind of lame, but if the right actual lyricist was singing it, the right frontman, right, it would actually not be bad. But dang, it sucks with that guy singing it. So I don't know who's singing it, but I hate it. Okay? Anyway. So, Cody comes into the ring with the crowd white hot, and he looks at Miz, and he kicks his fucking ass. He just beats the shit out of Miz. I know you think, oh, that's a joke, right? Oh, no. He just destroys him. And he throws him out of the ring, and he goes, no one's here for Miz TV. No one's here for this nonsense. He goes, I just want to talk to John Cena. John Cena's not here tonight. Well, I've had enough. I'm going to be on Monday Night Raw because Cena said he's going to be on Raw, and I'm going to confront him. Have a good night. And that's it. And he walks out. So they did that giant intro where everyone sang his song word for word. He came to the ring as slowly as possible, and then he just beats the shit out of Miz and leaves right away. Nothing happens. It was still a good way to get him on the show, right? And I'm sure when they're in these countries, like they're in Spain, he's going to do tons of promo work. He's going to meet the fans, right? But man, that was like the crappiest in-ring fast thing. I'm sure the fans would have loved to see him do something other than just kick the Miz in the nuts, but that's what they had for him for SmackDown, okay? Okay. I got a $2 tip. I'll give you $100 to have TTS Brian read out the rest of your Chat GPT notes. Can you bring back RTU? I have no idea what the fuck you just said. Thanks for the $2 tip. If you're gonna drop the 100, and then we'll talk. Other than that, I have no idea what you're saying. So yeah, guys, we're now at 37. We're not making much headway. All right, just being honest. We got about 90 minutes left in the show to hit the goals, to do the unpacking, the whole 9 yards, and it ain't going so well. So let's see how we can do by the end of the show. Again, you want to see 3 guest hosts. You want to see me cover to WrestleMania. Maybe do different wrestling after WrestleMania. You like the content. Please support it. We still don't have a sub over on Kick. That's crazy to me. That we still don't have a sub over on Kick. Not a single one. Okay, continuing on. So Nakamura is pissed. He wants a rematch. Then it shows that Priest is backstage looking for Drew McIntyre after what Drew had said, but apparently Drew has left the building. So by the way, tonight it's Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Why? Just because they wanted a match, I guess. I don't know. So I think this was formally the first time that I had seen Damian Priest's full intro since I started watching wrestling, or maybe it's just the first time I focused on it. But Damian Priest has a fucking badass intro. He's got like metallic flames exploding out. He's got like this badass metal soundtrack. Wasn't he used to be called what was his name? Something Punishment Rodriguez was his old name in the indies, right? Punishment Rodriguez. And now he's Damian Priest. He's pretty cool. I have to say, I don't know about what he's done as a wrestler, but his whole persona in the intro is quite impressive. I thought that it was quite well the first time I noticed it, really. So, while Priest is coming out, Drew McIntyre interferes and he absolutely destroys Damian Priest. So I guess there's no match. The whole thing's thrown out. And then Drew says, I have nothing to do but making your life a living hell. Basically, what Drew is saying is, he had every chance to possibly either be the champion or face the champion at WrestleMania, but it's all been taken away from him. So because of that, because Priest beat him at the Elimination Chamber, taking that opportunity away from him, he's now going to make Damian Priest's life a living hell because he's got nothing better to do. There you go. Okay. Punishment Martinez was his name? Punishment Martinez. King Crimson says he signed a new contract. It gave him creative control over his character and his song. His name was Punishment Martinez in the Indies, but they still call him the Punisher in WWE. Oh, I haven't heard the Punisher yet. By the way, Pierce Connor in chat says he only made $37 so far tonight, but last stream he was bragging. So how about we make Pierce Connor look like a bitch, right? How about we actually hit the goal tonight, which is all I'm looking for, is the goal. I'm not looking to exceed the goal like we did last week and double up. I just want to hit the goal tonight. Let's make Pierce Connor look like the bitch he is for saying that in chat, and let's hit that goddamn goal right now. So who's going to make Pierce Connor look like a bitch? Who's going to do it? Let's see. Who wants to embarrass this loser? Exactly, Stormforce Gamer. He says that's going to be your Mania match. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Is every week now you're starting to see the formulation, the push. You're starting to see these matches are going to form. Yes, there's going to be the U.S. title match. We don't know exactly who's going to be in it yet, but we have big contenders. It's either going to be Jacob Fatu versus Braun, or somehow they'll be involved in the IC title match. Jimmy Uso is going to be in there somehow. All these matches are now starting to, formulate. And that's a good thing. You want to know what's going to happen in like a month, right? WrestleMania is in roughly a month. You want to know what these matches are going to be at this point, right? Okay. Let's see here. Oh, so you're right. I skipped my notes. DHD said, no, they did have their match. You're right. I skipped my note. There was a match between Damian Priest and Nakamura, but it was Drew who interfered and took out. I wrote my notes wrong. and I wrote that Drew took out Priest, but the way I wrote it, it made it sound like he took him out on the ramp. He didn't. They did have the match, but the match got interfered by Drew. So they did have their match. It just didn't go anywhere because of the interference. So thank you for correcting me, DHD. I had a miss. I wrote my note wrong. Like I cut out part of the thing by accident. Yeah. I put my notes about the match after the fact. All right. Well, might as well just go to the next segment now because now I screwed it up. So DIY had an interview. DIY, who is Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Okay, they are the current tag champions on SmackDown, and they interview them in the back, and then basically they're not saying that much. It's kind of very, very kind of generic heelish stuff. We're gonna win. We're gonna retain. Blah blah blah. But then Motor City Machine Guns warn DIY. Listen, we're next. We're coming for you. You know, even if you win tonight against the Street Profits, we're coming for those titles. All right. So Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes will be the next official match. They tease that, and they go to kind of like a break. So Chelsea Green, all right, now has a whole freaking stable. All right. At first, she just had Piper Niven as like her personal bodyguard, but now she also has Alba Fire. Alba Fire was the one who last week had come out during that street fight against Mishin, and who had basically interfered and allowed Chelsea Green to win and retain. So now this whole like stable, it's kind of weird. Why is she getting such a crazy stable? I don't know. Again, I haven't really seen much of her. I'm just starting to watch SmackDown now. So maybe she is really popular on SmackDown. I really don't know. But we'll see, I guess, in the weeks moving forward. But anyway, Zelina Vega kind of walks into their scene because they were like talking in the back. And then Zelina Vega walks in and she challenges Piper next week and then Chelsea next. So basically it's kind of like Zelina Vega, who, remember, she was in the LWO. She got traded to SmackDown. She's going to kind of like run the gauntlet. First, she's going to face Piper. And if she beats Piper next week, then she's going to face Chelsea Green. So it seems like this is going to be Chelsea Green's storyline heading into WrestleMania, that either maybe she'll drop the title to Zelina and then the big rematch will be at WrestleMania, or maybe like she'll beat Piper, but then maybe she'll lose to Chelsea because of interference, but then it's made official. They're going to have a big title at WrestleMania. Maybe there'll be interference barred or something. Something like that's going to happen, right? So we'll see, I guess. We'll see what happens. But all right, so there you go. All right, so now I got a lot of notes about the Orton match here, because this is really the first time that I've seen Randy Orton in a while. Remember, he just came back at the Chamber, right? And I think last week he got the promo where he basically, embarrassed KO or whatever. So now, this was cool. I can tell, Orton now, he's in his late stages of his career. In the early 2000s was his premiere, and then he became the guy who was the new member of Triple H's group, Evolution, right? Then they betrayed him. He became the Legend Killer. And then after the Legend Killer, he snapped, and that's when he started stomping on everyone. It was like late 2000s. Orton was the scary Orton who was unhinged, and he had a stable with Cody Rhodes and also with Ted DiBiase's son. And then he went on to do more and more, But now he's kind of like, you can tell this is like, it's all downhill. He's going to ride it out, but that's fine. Because now Orton is just like enjoying it. Like you can tell at this point, Orton probably doesn't give two shits if he's going to win a title, what feud he's in. He's just going to have fun with it, right? So as he's coming out with his entrance, he's walking slow. He's enjoying the crowd. He's high-fiving. He's shaking hands. He's grabbing phones. He's taking selfies with the crowd at Barcelona. He doesn't care about his character. Why the fuck would he? He doesn't have anything to worry about. The guy's rich. He's successful. He doesn't care about, I need to do this or do that. That's good to see, actually. Because a lot of these guys, I feel like they get older, and as they start to age out, as they say, of like the prime events and things, they get like disgruntled. And then they want to start, oh no, I demand that I'm going to have a title match, and I refuse to do the job. I don't feel like Orton's like that. I think that Orton is kind of the opposite, where he's had a good run. He's been the champion a zillion times. He doesn't really need much else. They let him keep his theme, which is insane that in 2025, he's still coming out to the Voices theme that he started in like the mid-2000s. He's like 20 years later and he still has the same theme. So that's awesome. And also, he's still good. It's not like he's broken, he's busted, he's fat, he's slow. He's still good at what he does, okay? So he comes out, and the crowd absolutely loves him. Now, Carmelo Hayes starts to come out. And, oh my God, this crowd is fucking dead. This crowd doesn't give two shits about Carmelo Hayes. They're just ignoring him. There's like no pop for him, nothing. Now, I don't know if he's supposed to be popular or not, but man, in Barcelona, they just don't know who this guy is. All right. So they come out, they have a match. Orton is destroying him early on, slams him into the announce table, literally for no reason, just because he can. Carmelo later on gets control, starts doing some leg blocks to take out the leg, and, Orton eventually kind of breaks out of that offense. Hayes tries everything, including top rope strikes. He even does a springboard DDT. Orton just kicks out of everything anyway. And then all of a sudden, Orton hits the RKO 1, 2, 3. It's like, son of a bitch. You tried everything. You're a young upstart, but Randy Orton, he's the man, and you're just his bitch. So, oh well. And so as the match ends, Orton wants to shake Carmelo's hand, but Carmelo pie faces him. So now he's pissed and he RKOs him again. And it looks like he's starting to go back to old Orton. He's starting to go back to old Orton. He's going to punt him. It looks like he's going to punt him. But as he's going to do it, KO, Kevin Owens, shows up and throws Orton out of the ring and attacks him. But then as Orton, regains control, he basically bitches out and runs away. So it makes KO look like a pussy, basically. I'm going to attack you from behind, but as soon as we're going to have a serious confrontation, I run like a win. Kind of lame, all right? King Crimson says, nah, Melo's not popular at all. Trick Williams was his old tag partner, and he's still in NXT, and he's more popular than him. That's fucked up. Okay. So, Jacob Fatu challenges Braun Strowman to a match next week. We've already seen these matches happen, so I don't know why we're doing this again, but okay. Gunther enters. He's just talking more shit about Jay, not really saying much. He says, you know what? I heard there's a kid. He's the best wrestler out here in Spain. I want to give him a squash. Get Axiom out here. Now, again, I don't know who Axiom is. I guess people were saying he already was like an NXT or whatever. He's one half of the NXT Tag Champions right now. And he actually is a native Spaniard. I guess he's the only native Spaniard in WWE. So they have a pretty good match, I would say. There's good back and forth. Axiom uses agility. A lot of high-flying moves, fast, things. He's locking the ropes. Gunther's trying to grab him. He locks the ropes so he can't, can't get my hold on him because he's so slippery. He's so tricky, right? But Gunther starts using his signature hard-hitting style. He's hitting him hard. He's slamming him. He actually hits him with the power bomb. But Axiom kicks out of it. God damn, he's actually getting a pretty big push here. He's a top rope Hurricane Rana. And I guess they call it like a golden ratio, his move. But Gunther kicks out, and at that point, it seems like that's it, because that was supposedly was his finisher. And the fact that he reversed everything and kicked out, it's not sounding very good. So Gunther reverses and clotheslines him, power bombs him. A brutal ending. He wins, but it was actually quite a good match. And all of a sudden, Gunther decides to put him into a sleeper hold just to disrespect him. It's like, what? And then it just ends. It's like, well, where was Jay? Right? Like, where was Jey Uso? Why didn't Jay, try to make the save or anything? I didn't get that. Like, you would think they would have Jay there to run out and, save him, and that would have... No, he just chokes out Axiom. Oh, okay. All right, now it's time for the Paul Heyman promo. A lot of people said this was the best part of SmackDown. Well, here's my thoughts. Paul Heyman's in the ring, and you think, all right, Paul Heyman's here. He's going to drop a super bomb. There's something important's going to happen. He's going to talk about what just happened at the Elimination Chamber or whatever. No, he's there to promote the new WWE video game. I'm not kidding. He's there to just be like, yeah, it's the release date of the game and this. I'm like, wait, what? He's still doing this? Didn't he do this weeks ago? You know what I mean? I'm just confused. I like, why is they still promoting this game? And I did notice, I'll be honest, that he's getting older, he's getting slower. He doesn't have the energy he used to have. This happens to everyone. As we get older, we're going to get slower. We're going to be lower energy. And it definitely looks like that's happening to Paul. It's unfortunate. Obviously, I don't want to see that happen to Paul, but it is what it is. Okay. It's going to happen. So his real promo, he basically says, this isn't CM Punk Day, it's Roman Reigns Day. But don't worry, it'll never be Seth Rollins Day, because I hate Seth Rollins' song. I mean, I do too, but I really don't understand what he's talking about. It's Punk's Day? No, it's Roman's Day. Anyway, he basically says next week, Roman Reigns will actually be on SmackDown, which will be live from Bologna, Italy. So, buy a cheapo ticket or something? It was just weird. Like, I was expecting him to come out and he was going to be like hot and he was going to be pumping up from what happened at the Elimination Chamber. But this promo didn't hit for me. And maybe you guys disagree. Like, I like seeing him, but I just didn't think it was very good. I thought like it was lower energy. He's looked old and it was mostly about the game. And I didn't really get anything out of it besides, oh, Roman's not even here this week. Maybe I'll actually, be a big part of next week because Roman will be there, but not so this week, which is disappointing. Like, I feel like they wanted Paul to be there because they were in, Barcelona, but it was pretty disappointing to me. I didn't like the promo, okay? All right, so the Street Profits encounter that tag team of the Garcias. I don't even know what they're called, but they were one of the tag teams involved in this, like, insane tag team, crazy, convoluted thing that's been going on SmackDown for months. And it was, nothing really happened. And then they came out, and here's the funny part about the Street Profits now, all right? When they come out, they still have their same theme song, We get the swag like nobody can, yeah, yeah. Now, that used to work because they would come out with the cup, they would dance around, gyrate around, they'd be like a party, and the song sounds like a party song. It does, like you're going to dance to it, right? But they come out, they are straight up hard. They're walking with their arms down, their head, they're like, nah, fuck that. And they're walking out pissed. They're walking hard. They've been a joke. They even say these guys haven't actually been champions in several years, like 3-4 years, right? So, yeah, it's been basically a situation where, I don't know, like they retained their old song, but their song doesn't fit anymore. So why retain it then? Like, why not have a better song to fit their new personas? I just don't get it. Okay. It's very bizarre to me. Okay. All right. Continuing on. So it looks like Jimmy Uso and Gunther may form an alliance. So Gunther goes to talk to Jimmy and he's like, unlike your brother, it looks like you do have like your head on your shoulders, right? So, this is good. And, let's align. Let's have an alliance, right? And basically, Jimmy's like, no, I got my brother's back. I'm not going to talk him out of the match with you at WrestleMania. Nothing, So he tried to appeal to Jimmy. I was like, oh, this could be interesting. Maybe Jimmy will be involved in that plot line. It'll give him something interesting to do for WrestleMania. No. So that's lame. Okay. Okay, so the main event starts. It's DIY coming out. And I'm going to be honest, I think that their music sucks ass now. Like, DIY used to have this really high energy song, this rebel heart, this rebel heart. It was very exciting. Now, they were faces, okay? Now that they're heels, their song is like, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Yeah, let's go. What the fuck is that? They're supposed to be like the best tag team. They're supposed to be like hard villains. And this is their song? Let's go. Yeah, let's go to the fucking toilet because this is stupid. Let's dump this theme and get something else, right? Like, it's really bad. So I hope that they will, if they're going to stay heels, I legit hope that they do have a better theme because this theme sucks ass, in my opinion. Okay. All right. So the match starts early on. The Street Profits are hard hitting. They're beating the crap out of DIY. They're showing them who's boss and that they should be commanding the ring. All right. But then agility takes over. DIY is, smaller but faster, and they start to take control of the match. It goes back and forth and back and forth. One of the dumbest things, they're still doing this shit. They're still doing this. All right. So I can't believe they still do this. They cut to the back. What's going on in the back? Well, the number one contenders for the title, Pretty Deadly, are watching the match like this on a screen. Stop doing that. That's stupid. They could, you realize that, like, it's 2025. Like, no one has to actually watch it like that. This is being live broadcast right now. They could literally have their phone and just be watching it on their phone streaming. They don't need to be sitting in the back watching some kind of a closed circuit TV. Staring at a weird angle too. They used to call it angle watching was the meme where they would stand at an angle watching it instead of watching it straight up like you would a normal TV. It's like angled so the camera can see it, but they're at an angle so you can see them. I don't get that. It's kind of silly. If anything, have them cut a promo or something. You don't have to have them watching the match, right? Anyway, so it's crazy. Both teams hit double teams. Both teams are having last-minute kick-out saves. This tag match by far is the best match of the night, in my opinion. I thought that it was everything you would want from a tag title match. Absolute action. Everyone kind of gets a big, opportunity to shine in the match. Very well done. So how does it finally end? Well, there's a fairy tale ending with a super kick. So it's basically super kick into the fairy tale ending like a double finisher by DIY. Dawkins kicks out. What the? That looked like the end of the match. But no, Dawkins kicks out. There's a miscalculation. DIY end up hitting each other. And then an insanely huge, ginormous, flopping monster 27-point monstrous splash by Montez Ford. Like, probably one of the biggest I've ever seen in my life because, man, that guy is good at doing the splash. And that wins 1, 2, 3. So we have a brand new tag team champions on SmackDown. The Street Profits win. DIY loses. Great going. Street Profits, for the first time in like 4 years, are now tag title holders. And obvious now that this is definitely going to be the plot line heading into WrestleMania, that you're going to have Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Las Garzas, Gozas, Garzias, Gargos, whatever they are. There's like 5 tag teams in the running. So I guess the question really is going to be, how are they going to determine what tag teams will actually, be doing? I don't know. I don't know what tag teams are going to get a title shot at WrestleMania. There's no way they're going to have 5 tag teams go at it at the same time. I've seen Fatal 4-Ways. I've never seen Fatal 5-Way tag matches that weren't a mess. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how they're going to spin this because now they have too many teams in the running, essentially. Okay? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was SmackDown. That's the first half of our show. The next hour will be the commentary on Monday Night Raw. But again, I'd like to take a brief break. What do you got? How are you guys thinking? You're liking the show? Are you enjoying the commentary? And can we get some more support? Because right now we are literally at $37. No subs from the Kick side whatsoever. No memberships on the YouTube side. We have had some super chats and tips, but man, we have faltered. This sucks. We want the momentum going. I mean, we want to hit the goal. We'll do DSP Tries It reward tomorrow, right? Perfect to do it on Friday, end of the week. So let's do it. Why? What do you think? Do you like the show? Are you not liking the solo commentary show? Because like I said, this is all an experiment. And if you guys don't like it, I'll be very honest with you. We don't have to do it either. You guys told me your overwhelming feedback when I was doing this show with a co-host was You need more wrestling. You're focusing too much on drama and other kinds of filler content. The show's going on too long. We just want wrestling commentary. So you're getting wrestling commentary. All right? But is this what you wanted? Because now, here we are. This is week 2 of me doing a solo. We are more than halfway through the show. We got an hour left, and we're at 1/5 of the goal. So what's this feedback I'm getting, right? And I'll be honest, earlier today, guess what? Did gameplay hit the goal? Actually exceeded the goal. And it's funny because I keep getting this feedback, I'll be honest, that gameplay is tired, that gameplay isn't working, that gameplay is going to get older, and there's no way I'm going to be able to make a living doing it anymore. But when I play games and we're having a good time, usually it goes well. Not every stream, all right? To be honest, not every stream. Like I did Call of Duty the other day, didn't hit the goal either. But for the most part, if I'm doing a steady gameplay stream, it does well. It does. You know what I mean? Like, I got no complaints with how those go. So, I don't know. I'm trying to branch out and do different stuff. For many years, people said they wanted me to bring back wrestling commentary. All right? So, I hope that if you're enjoying, you're going to support it to make it viable so I can keep doing it. Because, if it's going to be like, every week it's going to be slow, then I have better things to do with my time. Just to be frank, I could do a million other things, projects. I mean, hell, we hit the goals doing Legos. We hit the goals playing indie games. Okay? I received a $2.05 tip from Sylvester Stallone. Have you ever considered going back to your old style of army cut and short face stubble like before? It was your best look. I bet you look 10 years younger. On the show, I haven't followed wrestling since the golden years of the 90s, but I'm enjoying it anyway. No, I'm old now. Like, the reason that I did that when I was a kid, all right, was because I didn't want to maintain a haircut. I was lazy. I didn't want to have to worry about, I have to keep getting my hair cut, trimming it, brushing it, and doing all that stuff. And so having my hair be incredibly simple was the easiest thing. I would get my hair cut. I wouldn't have to get it cut for another 2-3 months because it was so short. And, it was easy to maintain. I didn't have to do much work, right? The only reason that I actually kept shaving the way that I did is because I had to. I had a few jobs where they kind of required it, but I didn't really like having the face stubble. Reason being, I have sensitive skin. If I have to shave all the time, my skin breaks out and has issues. I actually have started shaving a lot more often recently. I don't know if you've noticed in the last few months. I shave like 2-3 times a week now. I used to shave once a week. Now I shave 2-3 times a week. And I do like how it looks. The problem is I am breaking out. Like, I am getting stupid acne on my face as a result. That's very frustrating. But I don't think that I would be going back to the old shaved hair. Maybe once as a gimmick. If it was like we have a crazy goal, a crazy stream, and we hit a crazy goal, like over the top support, I would shave my beard and then I would let it grow back, which would take probably like 2 weeks, right? I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But no, I don't want to shave my hair and go back to the short hair or anything like that. I like my hair. And my wife does too. We got Alex from Phoenix here with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Alex. Is that the top super chat of the night? Hold on. It is. So let's get Alex from Phoenix up there, and then let's see what he has to say. This is good. We're getting some momentum back, everyone. Let's keep it going. Let's get some more support right now while I'm shouting out Alex so we can get towards our goals here. All right, so now we're at $49 of support. Guys, let's get it to the 100. Let's get our pack opening for the night, right? Let's have someone drop 10 subs over on Kick or a $50 tip or super chat. Let's do it, all right? Okay, so Alex from Phoenix, excuse me, says, Mello, in my opinion, can carry a good match. Hold on. My thing screwing up. Reload. Okay. He has a good character. I'd like to see him win the U.S. title this year. Give him a story. On another note, I think that Cena will definitely win at WrestleMania. Well, we'll talk about that. Let's have a little talk about that, because now we're getting to Monday Night Raw. And I think that there's mixed opinions about it. But I think there's a definitive reason why people would actually like to see Cena win at WrestleMania. Okay? But we'll talk about that in a sec. Is that a legit sub? No. Yes, it is. Judge Dredge just became a sub over on Kick. Thank you so much, Judge Dredge, for your sub. Let's get that on the leaderboard. That counts. That's our first. We finally got a sub, everyone. Wow, that was like pulling teeth to get our first sub of the night. Thank you so much. I didn't miss any tips. If you guys are spamming that there's tips that I didn't shout, you're lying. I've shouted out every single tip. So you could stop now. Please don't spam and lie, or else you're going to get moderated. Oh, my nose. Cool. Thank you for that. Judge Dredge. Very good. I don't know anything about happy hour at Chili's Crimson Tide. That has nothing to do with the show. What are you asking me that for? Okay. No, there are no fake subs on Kick. But when I say that, sometimes you can pop a message on Kick for a sub if you subbed. But let me put it this way. When you subscribe on Kick, it'll pop up. But then you also can click a button later to say celebrate your sub. So you can basically get 2 notifications, okay? So sometimes if you do the notification, I'll check. And if it doesn't say that counted as a new sub, you've already counted it. You see what I mean? So, okay. All right, so thank you, Judge Dredge, for the first sub of the night. Guys, can we get any more? By the way, we are a third of the way to the goal now. We're more than halfway to the $100 to unpack the cards by the end of the night. I would like to, if we're going to do the pack, I want to do it before the very end of the show, okay, just to re-show you guys. We've got the new box. This is now 8 packs. There's the 1 leftover pack from last box, and then we have 7 new packs. If someone does a $50 contribution, I'll let you pick the pack. Just give me a number. All right, give me a number right now, $50 contribution. Give me a number, 1 through 8, and I'll pick the pack and we'll unbox it right now together. Okay? Let's do it right now. And like I said, I'm still giving the offer that if someone gives 20 subs, okay, over on Kick, I will give you both the VIP and the OG badges. All right? How about this? Since obviously I want support, I'll even do a better deal. For 10 gifted subs over on Kick right now, I will give out the OG badge, or the VIP badge. The VIP badge only. Not the OG, just the VIP. So for 10 gifted subs, you can get a VIP. For 20 gifted subs, you can get both the VIP and the OG together. Tonight only, because we only have an hour left on the show, and I want to hit these goals. All right? So it's time to do some wheeling and dealing here on Smart Guys tonight. All right? No, today did go well, Dragon Cat. The earlier stream went very well, but this one is definitely dragging its feet. Okay? You're giving me $100 if I get Ralph on? Ralph is coming on next week. Ralph is literally here next week. So, okay, so drop the 100. I did what you wanted. There you go. Sounds good. Okay. Well, let's see if anyone bites. In the meantime, we do have to get to the second half of our show, which is the Raw commentary. So let's go ahead and get to it, all right? Rather than, take forever. I do, got to be on time. That was actually one of the complaints that I got about the previous show with my co-host is that he would derail the show. Number 1, asking for contributions nonstop, and number 2, the drama segments. And those two things made the show derail so badly that people were actually tuning out and not liking it. So I don't want to, heavy focus on that, okay? Okay, fair enough? All right. So let's do it. All right? Cool. Monday Night Raw, live March 17th, this last Monday night, from Brussels, Belgium. Brussels. Remember they used to have the muscles from Brussels? Well, now it's just from Brussels. There you go. So they're saying this is, even though they've been to Brussels before, apparently they have been there for events before. This is the first time that during a live TV broadcast. When they say that, that makes me sound like they've done taped shows there. Maybe there was like a taped pay-per-view or a taped like old school SmackDown that used to be taped. Maybe they did that from Brussels before. So, yeah. So, main event for the night will be Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. There's also going to be Bianca and Io doing their contract signing for the Women's Championship. We've got, no attendance count, which is odd. Twice in a row during this European tour, they're not saying, anything about attendance. And I do feel like it's because these European arenas are smaller than the United States, and therefore they want to, not downplay these arenas, right? And we got Michael Cole, and Corey Graves on commentary. No Pat McAfee. Corey Graves is taking over for him this week. Now, I don't know if that means that McAfee couldn't go to Europe or this was just scheduled. I don't know if McAfee will be on the European tour at all. Not sure how it works. We'll see. Okay? All right. So they start the show absolutely hot. John freaking Cena comes out to his theme, the same theme. So it's not a new theme song. Does he look like he's Thugonomics Cena? No. Does he look any different? No. Looks like normal Cena. But he comes out with his head down. He does have his, little towel and says, "The last time is now," which is what he was doing before he turned heel. So it's the same kind of deal. It is a little confusing, all right? And I'm going to be honest. First of all, the crowd's nuts. They're going, "Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks." And this is what they used to do back in the day, over a decade ago, when Cena was the Super Cena ultimate pushed Hogan character that everyone hated and didn't want to see win constantly. They would just, keep singing that John Cena sucks. All right? What I noticed is he has a shirt on, and I guess what's going to happen is, as he goes through this European tour, everywhere that he goes, he's going to have a special t-shirt. So this one's like Brussels tour or whatever. Dude, this shirt is awful. It's the generic cartoonish John Cena saluting like this, so it's not even a heel Cena. And it says, last time ever tour Brussels. And on the back, it's just a fucking door. It's literally a cartoon door. It looks awful. The door didn't even fit the shirt that he was wearing. So it looked like it was like a weird misprint. At first I thought it was. I was like, did they fuck his shirt up? Is it a misprint? No, it's like, that's what the shirt was. And I get it. Like, if this was going to be a momentous occasion, maybe the only time WWE is ever in Brussels, you want a souvenir. But man, I'd be upset if that's the night he comes up. This is the shirt. The shirt actually stunk, in my opinion. I think he's had zillions better shirts than this one. It was very uninspired and looked like crap. So, "You sold out" chants erupting so loudly that John Cena looks to be visibly upset, tosses the mic down, and leaves the ring like he's going to leave. But then he turns around, changes his mind, and comes back in and picks it up. So I'm just going to go through all the points that he makes. First, he says, when you're grounded in life, you don't have to look outside of yourself for any kind of approval. I have been a victim for 25 years of an abusive relationship with you, the fans and viewers. You've bullied me to being your puppet, but no more. This is a new Cena who's going to stick up for himself. He's not a babyface. He's not a heel. John Cena is a human being. And you've been awful to that human all along. Everything that he ever did in his entire career was never enough. When he started, everyone crapped on Ruthless Aggression Cena. Then he turned into a heel, and for a small amount of time, he had a push. Then he turned into the Marine, and for, again, a small amount of time, people liked him. But then people turned on him, even though he worked hard, and he won, and won, and won, and won, and won. Now, the funny part was he did that, and then he stopped. But I was like, but John, actually what you should have done is you should have kept going and won and won and won. And he should have done it for 5 minutes straight just to emphasize how much WWE oversold John Cena as the Super Cena, and he never lost. He should have kept going because it would have been hilarious. But eventually he stops and he says, it was never, ever, ever enough. You still hated me at the end of the day anyway. He says, then I took a giant time to do things for kids. Basically, all the Make-A-Wish. That wasn't enough to make you like me. He goes, I came back this year because I wanted to give you guys one final year. And it still wasn't enough. You're still turning on me. You're still crapping on me, right? No matter what I do, it's not enough. So there you go. He says, all you do is ask, what are we going to get when I show up over here? Well, what do we get when Cena's there? When Cena's in the ring, what's he going to get? When Cena's in the Rumble, what are we going to get out of that? When Cena's doing an appearance, what are we going to get? During all of this, no one asked me for my feelings. No one. It's all about you. It's never about me, right? He says, you guys earned nothing all of this time. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He says, you know what? How about this? During this final run, you'll get no new look from John Cena. I know you all wanted a new look or the Thugonomics look. You get nothing. You'll get no new music, no new graphics, no new animations. And it's funny because when he said that, I'm thinking, is that why he's wearing the shirt? Because the shirt isn't very good, but is that purposefully why they haven't changed the shirts? I don't know. But the shirts were awful, okay? Like, it would have been great to have a heel Cena shirt. I think people would have loved that. So anyway, you're going to get nothing at all. So he's now been going on for several minutes, and he finally says, your time is up, my time is now. And the crowd gets so pissed at him, all right? All of a sudden, the arena explodes into, we want Cody, we want Cody. So he says, you know what? I do see that even though most of you are cheering for Cody, there's a few of you who are saying, let's go Cena, right? I can hear you in between the chants, all right? He says, you're my people, right? He said, well, let me tell you something. Let's go Cena people are awful people. Awful. What did you guys ever do for me? All you do is you steal my moments and my time. You steal my greatness that I'm doing. You made me into a toy. You made me into an object. You made me into some kind of a butt of an unfunny joke that you can't see me, invisible joke, for over a decade. And it's not funny, and I'm tired of it. You're all pathetic. So basically, he's against everyone. He's against the people who hate him, and he's against the people who love him. He just hates everyone. You don't support me. You use me. You're all pathetic failures who watched me be great when you couldn't do anything with your own lives. Well, no more. This is a toxic and dysfunctional relationship, and I'm breaking up with you. You're all dumped. And then finally, after all that, because it was a long promo, like this thing probably went around 10 to 15 minutes. It was very lengthy, but it was warranted. Like, I felt like this was good. They needed him to do this because after the Elimination Chamber, after like 20 years of being a face, they needed him to have this time. Okay. So then Cody Rhodes finally comes out and interrupts. And again, this is where I put commentary again. Man, I hate the angsty teen singing and lyrics and all this crap. I wish it was just an instrumental. But I did notice that the lighting in Brussels looked great for him. Like, this arena had red, white, and blue lights that were like in a circle, like coming down from the rafters area when he was coming out, and it looked really, really good. So yeah, I said the crowd sounded completely drunk trying to sing Cody Rhodes' theme too, but maybe it was just their accents. I don't know. So there's so many chants going on, you can barely tell what half of them actually are. There's just like insane amount of chants going on in the arena. I think some of them were actually like in the Belgian language, because I didn't know what the hell they were saying half the time. But, so Cody opens up and he says, you know, they gave you both their worst and their best because they thought that you could take it and they knew that you could carry it. They had confidence in you, you know? And also then Cena says, what do you want, kid? He goes, I'm no kid. I'm the WWE champion. Who the hell are you now? Right? And he says, if this is who you're going to be at WrestleMania, I'm just going to be honest with you, John. I'm going to retire you early, because even though you said that you're going to have this whole year will be your final year, I'm just going to make sure that your career is ended at WrestleMania, because I want the real you, not this whiny bitch. And then he just walked away. Okay? It was crazy. It was pretty good. Like, not only did Cena get to turn like full heel, but you got to see Cody immediately just give him like the verbal bitch slap. And now I feel like these two are going to have increasingly good promos leading up to WrestleMania. And by the way, there's going to be another one next week. So that's awesome that we're going to keep seeing these awesome high-end, really hype promos between now and WrestleMania. Okay, so what did I overall think of the promo? Okay, would it have been awesome to see Cena come out in a different style? I'm not even saying Thugonomics, because I think, yes, Thugonomics could have worked. All right, but to see him actually come out in a completely and utterly different style, a new character entirely, or maybe this is real Cena, this is not me acting, this is how I actually am in real life, I think that would have actually been cool. Okay, I think it would have. I think it would have been amazing. But this heel Cena, if this is what he's going for, I'm just so disgruntled over a 25 plus year career. And even though I had all this success and none of you actually cared about or liked me, right? I actually think that this was a good promo, a good way to do it. It got momentum going. It got you to hate him. And if anything, it shows Cena can be a good heel. But we already knew that because he was a good heel during his initial Thugonomics run. So why WWE didn't let him do that all this time is just mind-numbingly stupid. They could have easily turned him to a heel way earlier. He would have been liked as a character. It would have helped the business. They waited till the absolute 11th hour of his career to let him finally do it, and it's stupid. This should have been done way earlier, but I already talked about that weeks ago. We don't need to rehash that and go through that whole, opinion again. Okay? Okay. Good God. I got a $2 tip from Flatman B. Need a little excitement, slap it to his Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. There's channeling the old Macho Man right there. Thank you, Flatman. Now, listen, I appreciate any contributions, but at this point, guys, we've got less than an hour left in the show. Unless we get some people who actually are going to contribute significantly, we're not going to hit any goals. We're not going to hit the pack of cards to open. We're not going to hit the goal and get DSP tries it tomorrow, right? I mean, listen, I know you guys want DSP tries it. You talked about it all week. The British food, you've been telling me what to eat. You got to get a sausage roll. You got to get I'm down for it, right? And the packs, you guys loved me opening the packs. You had a good time with it. We opened 3 last week. We opened 3 the week before. Let's do it. What's going on? Why are we waiting? It's not time to wait. We had 25 years to wait for Cena to turn heel. He took too long. Do you want to wait 25 more minutes for me to open a pack of cards? Or do you want to see it now? The time is now. Let's do it. Don't be like the Cena heel turn and wait. Do it now. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Seriously, someone drop 50 right now. Tell me a number between 1 and 8. We're going to open a pack right now. All right? Detractors or Savages did a $5 super chat. Did Owen Hart's passing affect you in any way? Were you watching Over the Edge by any chance? I thought he was an amazing technical wrestler. No, at that time, that was the middle of the Attitude Era. I wasn't watching. I had watched the New Generation era for most of it. And then about that time when things were going into the Attitude Era, namely, when things were turning and Bret Hart was having the problems and everything, I stopped watching. And I actually didn't get back into pro wrestling again until the Invasion angle, when you had ECW and WCW bought out by WWE and all those wrestlers were coming through there. You know what I'm saying? That's when I started watching again. So I missed that entire era. I had friends in high school who were into pro wrestling heavily, and every day in a homeroom, they'd be talking about what did Austin do? What did The Rock do? What do you think this faction's going to do? What do you think of Mick Foley? Did you hear about what happened with Owen Hart's horrible? I heard about it all as it went down, but I had nothing to add because I wasn't watching pro wrestling. I was so into Street Fighter, playing Street Fighter and going to arcades. And at that point, I was just starting to travel, go to tournaments and stuff. That was my focus. I didn't really care about wrestling at that time. So, okay. Whew. All right. Let's continue, shall we? He was pushing to turn heel back during the Rock feud. He even had heel music and gear, but Vince said no because merchandise sales and didn't think Cena would make money as a heel. Yeah, Vince is an idiot. I don't know what else to say. Vince is just stupid. Thank God he's not in charge anymore, right? Okay. All right, continuing on. Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta. I don't know what number match this is because I swear these guys now, since Penta debuted, have wrestled at least 3 to 4 times. So hopefully this, I mean it now. I really want this to be the last time these guys face each other for like 7 years because I don't want to see them wrestle again. I'm tired of it. I'm bored of it. We need new feuds. We need new stuff. We need, Penta to actually get a push after this. So it's a good match. I finally learned that Cerro or Cerro Muero, what is it? Cerro Muero means zero fear or no fear. I never realized that before. Cerro Muero, no fear. It's Cerro Miedo. That's what it is. Cerro Miedo, no fear. I like that catchphrase. I wish I had known that's what it meant earlier, but they haven't really pushed it that hard, and now they're saying it's, okay, now it's no fear. Why did you tell me that at his debut? I don't remember you saying that, okay? Anyway, so this match is all over the place. They're on the ring apron. They're using chairs. They're on the announce desk. It's used early in the match. Death Valley drivers into a table, back and forth, in the ring, out of the ring. The crowd energy is amazing, and basically it seems to be like this will be the last match between the two because they kind of went crazy with the stuff that they were doing, and it felt like this was going to be the final match of them, I hope. Okay? I really hope. At one point, oh, by the way, this was a no-holds-barred match. That's why there was all this stuff used. It was no-holds-barred, okay? At one point, Kaiser gets him down into the cameraman. Like, the camera's right there at the side of the ring, and he smashes his face into the mat right in front of the camera, and he goes, "You will fear me! I will teach you fear!" It's like a really cheesy line. It was hilarious. It was like a comic book line. So the match ends when there's excessive use of the chair. Like they're beating each other up, and then the chair hits Kaiser again, and then here's the Penta driver. 1, 2, 3. What a shocking twist that Penta won, right? Like, we never thought Penta would win this match, right? Of course he's going to win this. It's the end of the feud, thankfully. All right? And then Kathy Kelly runs out to interview him as he's walking back in celebration of winning, and she says, "What's next for Penta? What's next for WrestleMania?" And basically he says a few things. He thanks the crowd. He said, and then he basically says, "I want the DSP to open a pack of Topps Chrome cards live on Smark, guys." And when he said that, I actually defecated in my pants. I was not expecting that. I didn't know that Penta knew who I was. So immediately I just unloaded into my underwear right there as I was watching. It was disgusting. I had to go take a shower after the fact. Okay, actually what he said was, "I want the Intercontinental title." All right, so it sounds like he's going to try to now go for the IC title, which is interesting. Remember, tonight the title match is between Braun Breaker and Finn Balor. Okay. So then we have a Judgment Day promo in the back, and as it's starting, I basically did this. This is exactly what I did, just like this. I said, "Oh no, no more Judgment Day promos. I can't take it because every time they do a Judgment Day promo, it's uncomfortable. It's the same storyline. They need more members because they lost a member back in January in that match. But then Finn doesn't want to recruit new members and tells them no. But then Dom and Liv are planning against him, saying, yes, we're probably going to do it anyway. But then they never do anything. And it looks like they're teasing a twist. It looks like they're teasing a turn. It looks like something's going to happen. And then nothing ever happens. Ever. They always tease this and nothing ever happens. Not once has anything happened yet in like 2 months. I want something to happen. Maybe now, finally, after the outcome of tonight, okay, maybe we'll see something happen. Because I was like, dude, what is it? What's the saying? Either shit or get off the pot. Either do the plot or give it up. But they're sitting there teasing this shit so many weeks. I'm fucking tired of it. Either give it to us or don't. I'm bored. I'm fucking bored of Judgment Day. I don't care about Finn Balor. I don't care about Dominic. I don't care about Liv. I don't care about Raquel. I really don't care about Carlito because he's literally comic relief at this point. He's not even having a single meaningful match. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, pretty lame. And in my opinion, they've got to do something. Anyway, so the Judgment Day promo. All right. Gee, Dom, thanks so much for getting me this Intercontinental title match. Oh, no problem, Finn. But you know what? I have an idea. We found a replacement. It's Penta. We should recruit Penta. And then Finn says, you're a snake, Dom, because Penta just announced that he wants to win the Intercontinental title, and I'm literally going out there to wrestle for the title, meaning that if I win, he wants to face me next, so that's a backstabbing, and you're a snake, and then basically he storms out. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. I hate this fucking faction at this point. Just disband these fuckers. Stop calling them Judgment Day. Just do something different. I'm tired of this, really. They're all floundering. It's not good. Okay? I have received an incredibly generous $4.20 tip. A $4.20 tip from Jim Cornette. That transition from the Penta Ludwig match to the Ask for the Card Unpacking got a legit laugh, so here you go. So is that what I got to do? I just got to do shameless, stupid transitions like that? Oh, all right. And when Finn stormed out, he mentioned that he really wanted to see DSP eat a meat pie on Friday. And he wondered how that could possibly happen. That actually happened in that promo as well. I don't know if you guys were watching. I hope you weren't, because then you'll believe me. Okay, anyway. Now we're at $65, guys. I mean, come on. Let's get a big chunk of support right now for pro wrestling. At this point, you're not just supporting Smark, guys. You're supporting pro wrestling as a whole. Any contributions you give to this show, you're wholeheartedly contributing to pro wrestling, the actual idea. If you like the theater, if you like the spectacle, if you like the athleticism, support pro wrestling. Anyway, let's continue. All right. Oh. Okay. So Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile in a singles match. Why? I don't know. They're just having a singles match tonight. There's nothing at stake. There's no title match at stake. It's just a match. Chad Gable runs out last minute because he's going to coach Ivy Nile. All right. As this is happening, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee attack American Made. Immediately, Ivy Nile gets distracted. Dakota Kai gets her 1, 2, 3. So it's a pathetically stupid match. It's a waste of time. I think it's meant to build up that, you know, American Made is basically having feuds with like everyone, but they keep losing, which is pathetic. Like the whole idea is that, you know, Gable left to get this power of the lucha to face luchadors. But since he's come back, they're still losing anyway. So I don't really know what the point was, to be frank. Okay. Okay. Continuing on. Oh, by the way, King Crimson says Penta is technically undefeated in singles action. Oh, did my chat crash? My chat crashed too. I got to reopen it. He says that Penta is undefeated in singles action. And so now it looks like they're going to move on to like give him a different push or whatever. That's cool. Yeah, you know what happened? Wow, my chat, my Smark guy's screen, like my dashboard, crashed both on my desktop and my laptop, and the chat crashed all at once. I don't know if something happened on YouTube there, like a weird blip or something, because how the hell did it crash on the desktop and the laptop at the same time? That's really weird. Let me break out. I got to get the chat again because I didn't even see the chat. Okay. There we are. Okay. Okay. Continuing on. Io and Bianca come out for their women's title match contract signing. All right. Here we go. No one will ever disrespect me again because I'm the women's world champion. After WrestleMania, I still will be. That's what Io said, and the crowd gave a huge pop. Then there's "You Deserve It" chants from the Brussels crowd. Also, I won't let you put your hands on me again and do nothing about it. So she signs the contract. Bianca is about to start doing stuff, and then all of a sudden, Rhea Ripley comes out. Okay? She interrupts the two of them signing the contract, and everyone's like, what are you doing out here? You're not in the match. Well, all of a sudden a cat fight erupts. They're all attacking each other. And at one point, Rhea picks up Io and power bombs her into the table into Bianca. So it's like they're stacking bodies, like boom. Like what the hell? Pretty crazy. Then Rhea signs the contract too, but then she picks up the contract and walks away with it. And the whole thing's just bizarre. And the reason I say this, per WWE rules, all right? For those who don't know, maybe you don't follow WWE, all right? When you lose a title in WWE, you are at least owed one auto rematch. Now, they definitely have had situations where that's been like, oh, that's not true. But in general, in WWE, once you lose, the match, and you lose your title, you usually will get one more, like, run that back chance to get the title back. It's almost by default, okay? De facto, it's going to happen. In this case, Io had this random match against Rhea because Rhea just granted it to her. She didn't earn it. She said, yeah, I'll give it to you. All right? And then all of a sudden, by a distraction because of Bianca, Io won. So now, all of a sudden, Bianca wins the Elimination Chamber. So now it's Bianca against Io at WrestleMania. But what happened to Rhea? Why didn't Rhea get her rematch, right? Very odd. So it makes sense that Rhea would be in the mix for this. Why is Rhea not even being talked to about getting her rematch for the women's title? It's like WWE will selectively remember or forget rules and then just bring them up again when they want them to be convenient. I mean, even, these last couple of weeks that we've been watching, or I say couple of months that we've been watching WWE, even when someone lost the title, it seemed like there was a rematch, or at least an opportunity to earn a rematch back. But now all of a sudden, forget it. She's out of the picture. Too bad, right? So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing now or not. It's just weird to me. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Rhea Ripley's out there. Why can't you believe it? She literally just lost the title. Of course she wants a rematch. Like, of course she's going to try to interject herself into this match, right? Anyway, so what's going to happen? Rhea stole the contract, right? Well, there'll be more about that later in the night, all right? So Jey Uso is walking and talking to the camera, all right? And as she's walking and talking, as he's walking and talking to the camera, they're starting to play his intro. So they're going to do it. It's coming, the Jey Uso intro, all right? So I'm going to whoop Austin Theory, but it's you, Gunther, that I actually care about at WrestleMania. And then I think there was like a brief backstage altercation. But then after that, he just ran down to the ring anyway, all right, for a yeet down. And with the lights going crazy and whatever, like everything's going crazy, right? The lights are going, oh, he's doing his intro. Luckily, there was a match against Austin Theory, because I feel like if there wasn't a match, he probably would have stood there and did his yeet intro for 72 minutes, and it would have been the rest of the show. But luckily, it was a shorter intro, definitely because they had a match. So Jey starts wrestling Austin Theory. Now, the funny part about all of this is, Austin Theory a few years ago, right, was actually very hype and very pushed. Again, I guess he was Vince's young guy who he wanted to push. And if you remember, he had won a title, and I think he had Money in the Bank. He did all this shit, right? Now, at this point, he's just a jobber. Just listen to this. Jey hits the ring, okay? Austin barely does anything. Jey bounces off the ropes, crossbody, 1, 2, 3 wins instantly. It was an insanely bad squash. And it's like, what? Holy shit. So, what a hilarious, squash. But so that makes Jey look really good, right? I'm like, you know what? I guess that makes sense. They need to build up Jey as a believable opponent for Gunther. If he starts squashing people like that every week for the next 3 weeks, maybe people will actually believe he's believable. He could beat Gunther, right? So then, just as I was having that thought in my head, right? The moment I had it in my head, this is good. Jey Uso, all right, goes for a running, a move through the ropes. Okay, he's going to go for a move through the ropes in order to take out the opponent on the outside. And he gets caught up in the ropes. And he lands square on his fucking head. So just think about that. I'm getting a big push. I got a squash match against Austin Theory. Now, let me look good. Ooh, crash and burn. He looks like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, this is the equivalent of like walking out of the bathroom with a big thing of toilet paper stuck to your foot and everyone's pointing and laughing like, huh? Like, it was such a bad fucking botch and such bad timing for it. It was just the worst possible timing that they could have done that, okay? Anyway, he tries to play it off like he's okay. Like, it's like he gets up, he's like, and then Gunther comes out and tries to do a submission on him from behind, but Jey escapes. He takes out Gunther. He steals the World Heavyweight title belt, but then he hands it back to him and leaves. So within, I'm not even kidding, like a 5-minute span, we've got an insanely fast squash match against Austin Theory that makes Jey look good. Then he completely face plants himself onto the floor, okay, and just looks like a complete buffoon, goes, then Gunther gets him from behind, he escapes, he hits Gunther, takes the title, looks like he's going to steal it, almost like a heel, but then he just hands it back and walks away. That was the stupidest segment. And again, we keep saying, well, time's almost up. It's almost WrestleMania. They've got to do a good job of building up Jey. And they still haven't done anything. I'm still waiting. Like, when is this going to happen? I haven't seen it happen. I just scratch my head. I don't know what the hell's going on with this guy. I really don't. And I'll be honest. I think that they're going to have him go over Gunther at WrestleMania. And it's not, the crowd likes him for his entrance. And the crowd likes him for his storyline that he's like the ultimate underdog character, right? But he's persevering and he might finally get his push. I don't think he's going to last. Even if he beats Gunther, I feel like it's going to fail and the crowd's going to turn on this guy. And he's just going to end up getting pushed aside, swept right the fuck aside, I'm sad, but I really feel that way. Backstage, Adam Pearce demands the contract back from Rhea Ripley. Bianca attacks Rhea and Io attacks in an all-out brawl that basically goes nowhere, and it's uncertain what the hell's going to happen with these three. I mean, we know what's going to happen. It's going to be a triple threat at WrestleMania. We know that, but they're teasing this and dragging it out to make it sound like it's not going to be, okay? The Creed brothers are going to wrestle Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I don't know why they call them LWO, because they literally don't have an entrance at all. It's just Rey Mysterio's music play, right? So, I don't know. Lots of moves are done, lots of spots are done, back and forth, but it's kind of all meaningless because, number one, the match doesn't have any results that are going to mean anything, and plus, you kind of know that American Made's going to lose because they've lost 17 matches in a row now. 619, Rey Mysterio gets the pin, LWO wins, whoopity freaking doopity. And then that goofy luchador, who they swear is not Chad Gable, attacks them from behind, and that's it. Like, that's it. Doesn't go anywhere. I don't understand what's going on with American Made. Like, I thought Gable would be gone for a while. They would come back, and maybe there'd be a funny plot line where, like, Chad Gable's, like, invigorating them, but he's pretending like he's not Chad Gable, or maybe he absorbed the power of a luchador, and now he'll wrestle in a luchador style, like something. They're doing nothing with this. It's just he wears a mask and runs in and attacks, yet they still keep losing their matches. So I have no idea what the point is. I just don't get the plot line. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know. Okay. Continuing on. And by the way, we're almost done. We only have 3 or 4 segments left. So last chance, essentially, anyone. If you want to contribute to the stream, you want to hit the $100 goal. I mean, at this point, we're at $65. We're very close to doing the unpacking at 100. Let's do it. Let's open a pack. Let's get it done by the end of the stream. It sure would be great to hit the goal of 150, but if we don't, I guess it is what it is. I've tried my best. I'm trying to entertain. I'm trying to inform. I hope you're still enjoying the content. Okay. Seth Rollins enters. stupid long chants and stupid people keep singing his song. They're applauding themselves as just this stupid Seth Rollins theme that I don't understand. I really don't understand it. I don't understand why they're singing it. I get it. It's this groupthink mentality. But, like, at this point, Seth hasn't won matches. He just keeps beating people. He beat up Roman, pissed him off. He beat up CM Punk, pissed him off. But he loses every match. The only reason he won the cage match against Punk is because Roman pulled him out. Why is the crowd still behind this guy? I don't get it. I really don't at this point. Like, I get it. He's a good wrestler. That's all I understand. The plot line's boring. It doesn't seem like he's going anywhere with it. Why do they still sing his theme and everything? Now, listen, he's in Brussels. Maybe things would be changing if every week this was in the United States, but I'm just tired of the crowd just going crazy singing the theme songs when the characters are falling apart, okay? Anyway, they literally keep singing this guy's theme song for ages and ages and ages. Finally, he says, "It's Monday Night Rollins," and then they start cheering for like another 2 minutes. I'm like, can we please get to something? Can something happen? All right? So, all of a sudden, the chants turned to CM Punk chants. Rollins says, we'll talk about him in a second. Let's talk about Roman Reigns first. So then they start chanting OTC. And the weird thing is, all right, if you didn't notice, when Roman Reigns returned at Raw, which was the cage match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, Reigns was wearing a YTC shirt. So he's no longer, the one-time tribal chief or the old tribal chief. He's your tribal chief. Why this hasn't been emphasized yet, I don't know, because no one really mentioned it. So the crowd still chants OTC. They should say, no, crowd, chant YTC, because that's his new moniker now. That's his new, name. But they haven't talked about it in like a couple weeks. I'm like, that's kind of weird that they're not, really acknowledging this yet. Okay? So, anyway, he says, if I had a few more seconds, I would have stomped Punk through the mat. But I'll be honest, like, I was listening to this promo. I was so bored by this promo. I just fast forwarded through some of it. I couldn't take it anymore. Because what does he have to say? Nothing. It's the same fluff every week. It was obvious they wanted him to be there in Brussels, but he doesn't have anything going for him right now. It's very boring. Who do we want to hear from? Roman Reigns, who we haven't heard from yet. Or who do we want to hear from? Maybe CM Punk. I don't really care what Seth Rollins has to say at this point, okay? So basically he says, okay, so I'm going to SmackDown next week. I'll see you all, in Bologna, Italy, and he leaves. Great. Thanks a lot, Seth. Thanks for that very useful promo, right? Anyway, I received a $10 tip, and it's anonymous. There's no message or name attached to it. So whoever that was, thank you so very much. I appreciate the anonymous $10 tip. Is that our biggest tip of the night? It is. And that gets us to $75 of contributions. All right, so we are 25 away from the pack opening, and we are halfway to the goal. And I only have 2 things left to talk about, and then the show is over. So now is the time. There is no time to delay. Don't be like the Cena heel turn. Don't take 25 years. If you want to get the rewards tonight, let's do it right now. Okay? So, next week it is announced there will be an Intercontinental Women's title match between Lyra Valkyria and Raquel Rodriguez. Also, CM Punk will be on the show. He wasn't on the show this week, but he'll be on next week. And Jey Uso and a mystery partner will be teaming up against A-Town Down Under, which I guess is what the actual name of the Austin Theory and whatever the fuck that other guy's name is, tag team. Okay? Show me us your CM Punk plaque. I don't have a CM Punk plaque. I have not had a CM Punk plaque for many, many years. It was gone. It's gone. Just like everything. All those statues, everything from that old collection that I had when I lived in Connecticut is gone. I don't own it anymore. Okay. Continuing. Also, both John Cena and Cody Rhodes will be here again next week. So it sounds like every single week now, they're going to be doing this promo against each other leading up to WrestleMania. I'm going to assume there'll probably be some altercations between the two of them as well. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. We've got Kathy Kelly is now interviewing AJ Styles. Okay. And she says, so what do you think about Logan Paul? And as he's about to answer, right, it sounds like he's going to start talking about Logan Paul, who it looks like is going to end up being AJ Styles' opponent at WrestleMania. Of all people, Karrion Kross shows up again, but this time, Karrion Kross is now with Scarlett, his wife, and former valet. Now, this is very confusing. If you remember, Karrion Kross had a stable with the Authors of Pain, but the Authors of Pain just got released. So now he doesn't have a stable anymore. But at one point, he had an association with The Miz where they were teaming up. But now The Miz is not associated with him anymore. So now they decide to have her just standing there. Okay. I don't get it. She didn't add anything. She didn't even say anything. I don't know why she was there, but she was standing around. Okay? Anyway, so Karrion Kross interferes and he says, I don't think you're actually mad at Logan Paul. I think you're mad at yourself. It took you 17 years of your career to even get to WWE. Then it took you more time to win titles, to get accomplishments. Logan Paul, in record time, has come to WWE as a newbie, started winning titles, getting accomplishments, and he's got his future ahead of him. So you're just mad and jealous of him because he's doing everything better than you ever did. Okay? And then basically, AJ turns to Karrion and he says, I see what you're trying to do, and it won't work, and it walked away. So here's the thing. I'm glad that AJ saw what Karrion Kross was trying to do. I just wish that the rest of us knew, because literally every week, he seems to be walking into someone random in the back, saying this kind of devil's advocate, kind of almost like angry advice, right? Like he's the devil on your shoulder while the angel over here is saying something else. But has any of it actually resulted in anything at all? Has Karrion Kross wrestled? Has Karrion Kross managed someone? Has Karrion Kross actually influenced someone's actions so that they took action and it changed the course of a plot line? I don't get it. I don't know what they're going for. I don't know why he's involved. I just don't understand it. It's good that he's getting airtime, because obviously if you're a wrestler, you at least want to be seen in the product. If you're not and you're literally warming the bench, that's unfortunate. But I'm wondering, like, why are they still having him involved in every random event and nothing ever comes of any of it? I'm scratching my head and it's confusing to me. I don't know what, the point is, okay? All right, the main event, this is it. This is the end of Raw, all right? Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker. So, Finn comes out, and again, I got to call it out. Basically, his theme is really bad. What they did is they took the old Demon Balor theme, but they just, remixed it really horribly. It sounds terrible. Now, I don't know how many different like versions of Finn there have been. In NXT, there was the original Finn Balor, who was supposed to be like a superb wrestler, but then there was the Demon where he would get angry and lose control and paint himself and have the fake hair and turn into this monster, right? Then when he debuted in regular WWE, he won the Universal title, but then he ended up getting hurt, lost, they had to drop it. When he came back, he literally never got his momentum back. Now, I know he's been in Judgment Day. He's probably done, I think he did stuff in NXT for a while, but I just don't get what his character is. I don't understand this guy anymore. So maybe that's what the problem is too. Like maybe actually WWE doesn't know, right? So I just don't like the theme. It's a real jumbled, convoluted theme. If he's not going to be the Demon, don't remix the Demon theme. Just have it be a new theme. Okay. Anyway, Braun Breaker's entrance is interesting. First, it plays a siren, which I think is an homage to his uncle Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. And then it starts playing this good, like, rock music, which I like. But then I couldn't believe it. It started playing lyrics, and it sounds like the lyrics are being sung by the same person who sings the lyrics to Cody Rhodes' theme song. I said, why? Why? Why the fuck are they doing this? Stop having this whiny king. He's Braun Breaker's coming to the ring. He's gonna fuck you up, and his name isn't Sting. What? Stop this. I can't take this guy's voice. He's so nasally and high-pitched. It doesn't make me feel like the wrestler is badass. It sounds terrible. Stop. It makes me feel like I want to skip the intros at this point. Anyway. Anyway. Let's continue. So, here's the weird part about this. This is the main event of Raw. This is the match that they've been building to. You want to know how much time they gave it? 11 minutes. And this is a title match. And they only gave it 11 minutes. So, the thing is, this is kind of one of the drawbacks of watching this stuff live, is that you can see how much is left in the show. And so I was like, so this isn't going to be a great match. If it was, there would have been back and forth and kick out after kick out and this and that. But when you see that, you're like, this is going to be a rushed match. And then it hit me, it kind of dawned on me. The original start of the show, which was the John Cena heel promo and Cody Rhodes coming out, was like almost a half an hour. It was like 20-something minutes, okay? And I realized, even though it was good, it needed to happen. Okay, for sure, it needed to happen. I like the promo. It sets the tone for the rest of Cena's heel run. It went too long. They probably were planning on having way more time for some of this content, and they had to rush it. So you had the squash match with Jey Uso, which then resulted in him landing on his head. And then you have this match that should have been drawn out in a great title match, and it's rushed. It's a rushed match, okay? So, by the way, I got a tip. I have no idea how much it is. I'm not going to look till I'm done talking about this match. So, basically, we have until the end of me talking about this match to hit the goals, to do an unboxing of the cards, and to hit the goal for the night. So, if you're going to contribute, now is the last chance, because if that tip isn't enough, that's it. The show's over. All right. So, how does it go? All right. First of all, the match starts, and something dawned on me, right? I'm like, who's the face? Finn Balor's in Judgment Day. That's a heel stable. And Braun Breaker is a very heelish kind of anti-face guy. You know what I'm saying? Who's the face in this match? And I realized there is none. This is another one of those weird situations where they've got like two heels going at it, which I'm okay with if there's a build. There's zero build. Remember, Dom just literally just got him the match last week? So it's heel versus heel. It's bizarre. Why is this happening? All right. I'll be honest. Not for a single second did I believe that Finn was going to win. Why? Because Finn has done nothing but lose, 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 and lose since I've watched him wrestle starting in January. So I have no confidence he'll win. I don't even understand how he got the Intercontinental title match, because he's a jobber now. Okay? Just being honest. All right? So the match starts, and it's fast and aerial versus power. Finn, with his agility, moving, flipping, flying, hitting him, from 8 different directions. But Braun, every once in a while, hitting him with a strong strike or a big shoulder. You know what I mean? And it's that kind of classic match. And the matchup is good, in my opinion. And then halfway through the match, so 5 minutes in, after they've basically done 5 minutes of action, the Judgment Day comes out. It's like, why are they coming out? Here we go. They're going to interfere. This is going to suck, and this is going to lead to bullshit, right? So what happens? Judgment Day comes out. Braun hits a super clothesline from off the ring apron into the announce table. All right, I forget who he hit with that. If it was Dom, he hit someone with it. But super clothesline looks really impressive, actually. Lots of spear reversals. He goes to spear Finn once and sling blade. He goes to spear Finn again. Spin just leapfrogs over it. So that's good because the spear is either his signature or finisher, depending on the match. It's good to see that basically the spear is not ultra effective. It's like being countered like 10 times. That's a good thing. I like that. It builds suspense. It makes it look like it's not an unstoppable move or whatever. Okay. So, then Braun ends up eluding the coup de grace. So, okay, I'll evade your finisher. Well, you evade my finisher. So it builds some suspense in the match for sure. But then, and this is what I hate, because you can tell when a match is about to end, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the two superstars who were agile, smart, and really great wrestlers become dopes. Oh, I think I'm going to climb to the top turnbuckle for no reason. Okay, why don't you do that and I'll join you up there and let's see what happens. But we're both gassed and perhaps this is a bad idea. That doesn't matter. The match has to end anyway, so let's do this really stupid spot. So it's like Finn starts to climb, and then Braun's climb, and they're punching back and forth, and the reverse is like, this is going to be the end of the match. You can it's so easy to tell this is the end of the match. I hate when they do it like this. A few months ago, there was a match. Nia Jax, for absolutely no reason, starts to climb the freaking turnbuckles, and then someone goes up there, punches her, knocks her down to the win. Like, it's going to happen, right? So what happens is it's slow. They're going back and forth. Dominic accidentally makes Finn lose his balance, which makes Finn fall, hit the turnbuckle. So now Finn is stunned, and we've got Braun Breaker he takes out Dom and Carlito at the same time to get them off the ring apron, and then he does a top rope Frankensteiner, which I guess they reference. Pat McAfee has started calling this the Rankensteiner, or I don't know, like Rankensteiner. I don't know what he said, or Breakensteiner. I guess because he's Braun Breaker, now it's the Breakensteiner. So it's not just the Frankensteiner, it's a top rope Frankensteiner, so it's the Breakensteiner, is what they're saying. I guess it's a new finisher. Okay? Then Finn gets up anyway, spears him. 1, 2, 3. So Braun wins. What a shocking twist. Like we had any inkling that Finn Balor was actually going to win this. Of course we didn't. We knew Finn was going to lose this match, right? Okay. So now all the Judgment Day are losers, essentially, right? Like everyone's losing matches constantly. It's pretty lame. So Dom and Carlito attack Braun Breaker after the match, and it looks like they're going to beat him up. But then Penta comes out for the save, and he saves Braun. And then there's a pose down between the two at the end of the show, kind of a sign of respect. Because, Braun's like, oh, you saved me? That's, not that he loves the guy. But he's like, okay, gotcha. You're going to possibly be my next challenger. And then the show ends. All right? So, overall, I think Raw was good. I think the essential part of Raw was John Cena's promo. It hit. It established the path forward. We know the plot now. We kind of know what we're going to see back and forth between him and Cody between now and WrestleMania. It went well. The crowd was hot. All right? It was good. Next week, it seems like we're going to have some good matches. I feel like this European tour will be excellent, where you're going to have these guys being, cheered, applaud. The crowd's going to be hot, singing the themes. That's what you want leading up to WrestleMania. And the fact that this tour is in Europe, where, again, the crowds are always going to be hot because WWE doesn't always go there, will kind of ensure they're going to get exactly what they want visually for the world leading up to WrestleMania, okay? Overall, I actually really liked WWE this week. I thought it was very entertaining. I'm looking forward to more, and I hope that we stay at this level heading towards WrestleMania. Now, let's see these contributions at the end of the show. I received a $25 tip from your favorite Anon. Let's open up that fourth pack in the set. All right, since this person got us to the 100, we will count 4 packs off, and we will do it. All right. Going out. I'm clicking the 20. There it is. It was glitching. Okay. There we are. So thank you for anonymous $25 tipper for getting us to the pack. But that's not all, folks. Listen to this. So now we're at 100. But then I received a $10 tip. That's anonymous. So now we're at 110. I'm going to open a pack number 4. We're going to look at the cards. Let's get the goal. Let's hit the goal. Then we could do DSP Tries It tomorrow. And we could say this show was successful, even though I was doing it by myself, that it still works and that people like my wrestling content. All right? So we're at 110. We're going to open up pack number 4 right now live. Someone, let's get to 150 right now while I'm doing this. Okay? Seriously, let's do it together. Okay, here we go. So, here we are. So just to show you. Okay, that's pack number 1, pack number 2, pack number 3, lucky number 4. That's what we're going to open right now. All right? Here we go. A tip just came in. I don't know how much. I'm going to look at it after we open the pack. So here it is. I'm going to open the pack, and then I'm going to go to the manual focus so we can actually see what the cards are. All right, here we are. Our first pack of the week. Okay. Face down. Not sure if we have a good card here or not. We'll find out in a second. All right, let's go to the manual focus so we can actually see the cards are, because this camera is not good at doing the up-close focusing for some reason. Bizarre. All right, ready? Card number 1. Dragon Lee. We were just talking about Dragon Lee. Part of the LWO, which basically is just Rey Mysterio coming out with these other luchadors. Okay? And it is just a standard card. It is not anything special. It's a standard metallic chrome card. Dragon Lee. There he is. Very normal. A very normal card. Okay, Dragon Lee. It's number 1. All right. Number 2, ready? What does it say? Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley. Will the card be good? Will it be the rare card? Well, it's one of the chromium variants. See that? It's got that, I forget what you call that, lenticular, or someone said it was hologram. So it's not the standard Rhea Ripley card. All right? It's got that nice refraction around the edge. I like that. I like the rainbow refraction. Personally, I think that's an awful picture. Right? That's not a very good picture of her. All right. So there's Rhea Ripley. Very nice. The Dommy Mommy, not anymore. I mean, that was her plot line for a while, but not anymore. Okay? Card number 3. This one says, the world's champions, Billy Gunn. Wasn't Billy Gunn wasn't he in AEW for the longest time? So I'm actually surprised that they actually have a Billy Gunn card in this set, because he was in AEW, right? And there he is, the one Billy Gunn. Standard card. Does not have any refractor to it or anything like that. And it says Allen and Ginter. I don't know what that means. That whole Allen and Ginter thing. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But there he is. Billy Gunn. Standard card. All right. So our only chance of getting a rare one would be the 4th one here. All right. FYI, there's one tip that I haven't read yet. I have no idea how much it's for. I'm not looking at it yet. But if we don't get any more contributions after this card, I'm going to read the tip. And if it's not enough, then that's the end of the night, if we hit the goal or not. All right? Fair enough? All right, here we go. Last chance. Chad Gable of American Made. Chad Gable. Here we go. And it is a standard card, sadly. It is not a rare one. It is just the standard Chad Gable card, metallic. Nothing crazy. Nothing good. Well, it is what it is. We tried. All right. We tried. That is our pack. All right, that's our pack for the week there. Actually, let me go back to autofocus now. Now that we did the up close. I really wish the autofocus was better because then I would just leave it on autofocus entirely. See, but it's not, it's good like from this distance. But if I try to get any closer to show you the close up, then it like messes up. And it actually worked tonight. Look, it actually did. Oh, there you go. I got blurry. See, it's working. All right, maybe I'll try it next week then. All right. So there you go, Dragon Link. All right. So out of these, what's my favorite? Honestly, probably just the Rhea Ripley just because of the refractor. I like their whole refractor style card. I like that. Can you see what I mean about the autofocus? It totally won't focus. Look, it gives up. It's like focusing on the cat over here. Like, what is it doing? There we go. And there was, all right, I give up. So this is my favorite card of the night just because it's a refractor card. Okay. Nice. All right. Well, we got a pack open. All right. It's time. Actually, let me add this to our other cards. All of the cards I have in this box at this point, dependent on how many we collect and how long this goes, I may actually get a actual like thing to put them in. But the thing is, I may not be able to get any more. Like we have 7 packs left, okay? Just to tell you, there's 7 more in here. This might be all I can ever get. These are getting increasingly more rare and more expensive. The first box I bought was like 30, 40 bucks. This was over 50 bucks plus shipping. For this right here, over 50 bucks plus shipping. So I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get another one. Okay, I guess we'll see. Okay, that's it. So now, drum roll, please, everyone. Are you ready? Hold on. Actually, I don't know if the drum roll actually works here. Guys, let me know if you can hear this. Ready? I don't think this works. Can't hear that, right? Now, I never set up the drum roll sound effect here. So, FYI, this is it. I'm going to read this tip, and then it's it for the night. If it's big enough to hit the goal, we'll add it, and tomorrow we're doing DSP Tries It. If it's not big enough to hit the goal, then that's it. I want to say thanks. You were a great audience, guys. Ready? Here we go. Final tip of the night. A $2 tip. You should have seen this match Moxley had on AEW. It was ridiculous. This time he landed spine first on a bat full of spikes that went fully into his back. We already talked about it very briefly. I saw the clip of it on social media. Okay, I did. It was absolutely brutal. It was disgusting. It's nasty. They shouldn't be doing that, in my opinion. It's very unsafe. He could have gotten severely hurt if it went deeper. He might actually be severely hurt. We just don't know yet. We haven't heard. But, all right. Well, I would say tonight was a good night. Listen, doing wrestling commentary is fun. I like watching the shows. I am now. I'm actually having a good time watching the WWE content. I'll be honest. I didn't really like the AEW content. I would give it a shot in the future again, especially because you guys are saying that they're kind of like in a downward spiral, and maybe to watch it again would be pretty funny or scary, cringe. I don't know what you want to call it. All right. So, FYI, I did actually enjoy doing the show today. I hope that you did as well. I hope you enjoyed watching. Next week, all right, we will have a co-host. Like I said, in Ethan Ralph. He will be here live, and we will cover Raw and SmackDown. I'll let him know that's the shows we're going to be covering. It'll be the same rules, though. We raise a certain amount, we open a pack, we have fun, and we'll see how he does. All right? And then, like I said, every week for the next 3 weeks, we're going to have a different co-host. Starting with Ethan Ralph, then we're going to have 2 other co-hosts. All right? Then it's WrestleMania, and we'll see how things went, and we'll make a decision. After WrestleMania, do I want to continue the show? Do I even want to do like a WrestleMania special where the show's a little different format, maybe a little longer, maybe a different day? We'll see. Right now, it's going to remain on Thursdays, just so you guys know. Thursday nights are working for me right now, so I'm going to keep them that day. And there you have it. All right. So I would love your feedback. Let me know. Did you like the show? Suggestions for improvement. The one suggestion I'm seeing is, can you rate the matches? No. Because I'm not a technical guy. I'm not going to be able to rate the matches fairly, because then I'll say this match was a 3, but this match was a 4, and you guys will be like nitpicking me. I don't think that's the point. The point is, was the match good? What happened in the match? Was it notable? I don't care about rating the matches. I'm not Dave Meltzer. All right? I'm not going to be doing that shit. Okay? Okay. All right. So I guess that is it. Thank you all for watching Smart Guys episode 10. I hope that you enjoyed it. And next week, same time, same place, Ethan Ralph is our first co-host. All right. Everyone, thank you for watching Smart Guys. I will see you next week. Have a good night and peace out.